What's up? Hi guys. What's up? What's going on? Do you like my new chat window that I made? Do you like it? I realized I'm blocking a little bit of the chat. I might adjust the, what's the word I'm looking for? The height. I need to make it like a little less, tall. Looks like a scroll somewhat. Yeah, I was kind of going for like a comic panel aesthetics, sorta, kinda. Yeah. You know, the easier for VOD viewers to see our snark. Yeah, I wanted it to make it like a little bit more readable and stuff like that. This is what Von Zoinks is reading. Yeah, I'm like kind of sorta in the process of reworking my overlay and like just my general Twitch UI. And so I was just kind of playing around with it last night. While watching outtakes from the Ace Attorney anime dub, which was a very good use of my time because holy shit. Yeah, the spacing, it needs adjustment, but my problem is I don't know jack shit about CSS, and all of like the custom CSS creators are for YouTube comments, so they don't work for Twitch. But anyway, I'm gonna keep working on it. But yeah, Ace Turn Time, welcome back everybody. What's up? Also, I'll go ahead and say up front, just in case folks have to leave early, I'm gonna be doing another Ace Attorney stream tomorrow, outside of my usual time, because my brother's working tomorrow, and I really want to finish this game! We're not gonna finish it anytime soon, but boy howdy, I would love to finish it before I went away for like a week for Anime Weekend Atlanta. What time tomorrow? Usual time. So 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. So in exactly 24 hours, we will be Ace Attorneying again! I debated starting like an hour earlier, but I also have my voice to consider. So, you know. Anyway. Oh, one more thing before we start while we just wait for people to show up. I made a horrifying realization last night. You guys, so we've been talking about Birdman, right? The mysterious Birdman. Mysterious Birdman. And how he's Von Zeke's like assistant or apprentice. Well, Von Zeke's, he's clearly a vampire, right? He's a spooky, scary vampire man. And he has a bird sidekick. They're Batman and Robin! God damn it! I hate it! I'm just gonna start calling Van Zeke's Batman. And Birdman is Robin. Batman and Robin. I was just out taking a walk last night, minding my own business, and that thought occurred to me, and I was so upset. Like, I was viscerally upset by that realization. They're Batman and Robin! Ah! Anyway, Ace Attorney time, let's fucking go! Let's go, Batman and Robin! Oh yeah, we're in the MILF's office. I forgot about you. Oh, I guess I can't talk to her anymore, but maybe I can? Hello, hot lady, I would like to talk to you. So, what are you doing at the moment, Doctor? Oh, if you missed last time, a brief recap. Only kind of intrusive thoughts I'd wish for. I wish they were the only kind I had, but unfortunately they are not. So we finished the first court segment, and now we're gonna do some more investigating, and then we ran into a hot MILF in a spooky office, so that's the plan right now. Her name is Scythe. And I gave her like a vague Russian accent because that's what I do for all my like vaguely intimidating looking NPCs. Keeping a close eye on things so no impertinent Easterners think they can look around my office. Are there such impertinent Easterners around? How terrible! Ryunosuke! Yes, you. She doesn't mince her words, Miss Susato. I think perhaps it's time we left. Okay, fine. Hoping to talk to the hot MILF some more, but fine. Fine. We haven't been here yet. Let's go talk to our guy Sholmes. Where is he? I want to see my little mans. Oh my, no wonder it's called the House of Horrors. Oh yeah, she hasn't been here yet. I'd like to turn on my heels and go straight home via the confectionery. And being scared makes you crave sweets? I can understand that. I was looking forward to a reunion after 6 months away, but there's no sign of Mr. Sholmes anywhere. No! Where is he? I want to see my little mans! I even sang a song. Come now. That's strange. He should be here investigating the abduction of the waxwork. Oh well, I suppose we'll just have to come back again later. Damn it! Okay, now is he actually here and he's just hiding? I would not put it past him. No, apparently not. What the fuck? Where's my mans? We're easy. We haven't been here. Have we? No, we were here for a little bit. We talked to Gina. I want you to go up. Oi, that's off limits up there. Try to sneak past me again and I'll stuff your gob full of the boss's fish and chips. Oh. He's behind you. Oh God, Sholmes. Yes, please. I love fish and chips. I suppose we need special permission. Oh, didn't we get that already? We have to like give it to her. Sorry, I'm refreshing my brain after what happened last time. Or no, maybe we didn't? Maybe we have to talk to her first? I thought we did that. There we go. There we go. Gina, we were actually hoping that we could investigate the scene again. Yeah, alright. If it's around here, you can do what you like. Oh, that's alright, is it? I'm gonna be playing with my new friend here. Ah, yes, Toby. Good boy! The machine that exploded must be at the top of those stairs, I presume. I haven't actually seen it yet, so if you don't mind... Sorry, you can't go up there, Suze. Oh. Like I told Otto yesterday, even I ain't alive near that wreck. What's it called again? The reason we ain't supposed to touch it? The Special Dispensation for Scientific Equipment Act? Is that what you were thinking of? That's the one. That's why only them lot are allowed to investigate. Oh, right. We did go talk to Strongheart and he said to, like, give it a few hours. I remember that now. He didn't give us I thought he maybe gave us a thing. That's the one. That's why only them lot are allowed to investigate it. What are they called again? The forensic something? The forensic investigation team? Is that what you were thinking of? That's the one, yeah. But isn't it the case that the special dispensation has been lifted? I think so. I don't really get it, to be truthful with you. You're still supposed to get permission from some bigwig or other as far as I know. What was his name again? Lord Strange something? I'm not sure that's quite right, Gina. I think you mean Lord Strongheart, perhaps. That's the one, yeah. Apparently, he's always watching the time or something. I feel like this is deja vu a little bit. Actually, we just recently been... Ah ha ha ha! Here we go. Actually, we've just recently been to see Lord Strongheart. You what? You've met him? Last time the boss was called to go and see him, he waited for 3 hours at the Cove's office and came back sniveling. Tragic. No pity. No pity for Gregson. He doesn't deserve it. Well, Lord Strongheart has given us permission to examine the scene as long as we touch nothing. Oh yeah? Honestly. Alright then, go ahead. If it turns out you're lying, it'll be the boss who gets it. He'll never eat another chip again in his life. Well, then maybe we are lying. Fuck you, Gregson! So, you're still saying all this is above board, are you? I'm sure everything will be fine. That really would be tragic. Alright then, then's the stairs, off you go. Oh, thank you, Gina! Let's go! Up the stairs. This is an incentive, not a dissuasion. Exactly. Fuck you, Gregson. Oh my, so this is the machine. That was used to deceive people into thinking instantaneous kinesis had taken place. Yes, that's right. Or rather, it was the machine. It's a little worse for wear at the moment. What extraordinary lengths Professor Hairbrain went to in order to obtain the research grant. No, the professor was tricked as well. He didn't know anything about it. Yes, of course. It is amazing, though, isn't it? The scale of the whole affair is so very British. You're right about that. You'd never see such a grand deception in Japan, that's for sure. Oh, look. Is that... Hot boy! Hot boy! What's up, Batman? What's up, you fuck? Lord Van Zeeks? Yeah, so I forgot to mention at the top of the stream we have some new sound alerts for y'all to play with. Perfect timing, thank you. So I think we're more or less done here, aren't we? Shall we, Miss Susato? Already? He is the Reaper, remember? Hey! Oh my god, you're right! He came to hang out with us at this science fair! Vampires! Let's go eat cotton candy and look at the exhibits! You motherfucker! Is Birdman here with you? I wish to speak to him. Where's Robin? He is the Reaper, remember? We'd do well to keep our distance, I think. You did not have the same thoughts when you broke into his office and just started harassing the man yesterday. But we have permission to be here from the top. We're perfectly well allowed to investigate this machine, as long as we don't touch anything. From the top? Do you mean Lord Strongheart? Exactly. So we can stay here and stare at this wreckage for as long as we like. She could have been at the center of the explosion here, and it wouldn't have been her steel will. She wants to talk to Vampworth. She hasn't spoken to him since she got back, has she? Hi, Batman. What's up, buddy? Yeah, shut up, Renosuke. I'm gonna make you talk to him. Least approachable man in the world winner 10 years in a row. Be strong, Mr. Naruhodo. Your country and your assistant stand firm behind you. Behind you, where he won't look at me. Lord Van Zeeks? Hot boy! I hate how hot he is. He's a douchebag. God damn it! What? Well, beautiful weather we're having, isn't it? Hey! I thought I was making it quite clear that I didn't want to be disturbed. I had my earpods in and everything. What are AirPods? Don't worry about it. It's before your time. Apparently you Nipponese are unequipped to read the signs. Oy, jeez. Oh, I read them, and I walked right past them. So, what are you doing here? Entry to this area is prohibited. Well, the thing is... Lord Chief Justice Strongheart granted us permission to investigate, on the condition that we didn't disturb anything. And yet you've managed to disturb me? What an asshole! Never mind. State your business then. Come to think of it, there are quite a few things I'd like to ask Lord Van Zeeks about. Yes, there are. Where's your Birdman? Not least of which is that awful case, even though it's nothing to do with this. Ask away, Mr. Naruhodo. You won't know unless you try. Oh boy, these are both very weighty topics. Let's go. So, Clint. Oh boy, not beating her on the bush, are ya? Was the name of your older brother, I understand, Lord Van Zeeks. You Nipponese. I always have to be on guard whenever you're around. So, you've been investigating me, have you? No, it's nothing like that. Well, alright, it is a bit like that. Stop being hot, you vampire motherfucker! My older brother was also a prosecutor. He was the pride of the Van Zeeks family. But tragically, a vicious killer took him from— Stop! Your bunks will not dissuade me from telling the truth! He's hot! No, yeah, a Japanese person totally killed his brother. And actually, you guys, I have a wild theory about that that's totally not correct, but I'm gonna say what I think it is anyway. So, how long ago did they say his brother was killed? Did it say anywhere? It was like 10 years ago, right? Oh, sick, Birdman's in there. Masked man. Call him by his name. He's Robin. But his brother was killed like 10 years ago, yeah. Well, Susato's dad, stop bonking me! I'm gonna disable it if you guys abuse the bonks. But yeah, so, his brother was killed about 10 years ago. Susato's father returned to Japan about 10 years ago. Susato's father was studying here, and he came back about 10 years ago. So, and he is Japanese, obviously. So either he was involved in some way, or he's the killer. I don't know if he did it, but I certainly think he was involved. The serial killer is also called the Professor. Yeah, another thing. So he was like I think he was a student when he was over in Britain, is the thing though. He is a professor now, but he was a student back then, but maybe they just never caught him, so maybe they thought he was a professor and he was actually a student. La-di-da-di-da. He's involved somehow. I don't know if he did it, but it was sus AF. That is all I'm saying, and I'm putting that out there, so eventually when we find out and I'm right, I can laugh triumphantly. Anyway. The professor, you mean? Is something funny? That's the extent of what you've discovered, is it? I shouldn't be surprised. Sorry? There's more to it then? Lackluster work is very much your trademark, isn't it? What does that mean? You're too kind. Are you going to tar all Nipponese with the same exact brush? So tell me, what's your interest in that historic incident? As it happens, Lord Van Zeeks, there's a rather curious case that's come to our attention. Are you aware of Madame Tispel's Museum of Waxwork by any chance? I am, naturally. I believe that since last month I featured in one of the displays there. What? I want to see? I want to go see his wax statue? What a public scorn. Of course, the infamous Reaper of the Bailey would have to be exhibited, wouldn't he? Uh-oh. Why did I freeze? Oh, there I am. Okay. Well, a particular waxwork has been stolen from the place and held for ransom. A particular waxwork? Which... Wait, you mean... I know, I want to take selfies with... Yes, it's the professor. And Mr. Sholmes is investigating the case as we speak. Oh yeah, that's another thing. They have a waxwork of the professor. We've never seen it. Suspicious. Mr. Sholmes is investigating the case as we speak. I was unaware of that. He's turned as white as a sheet. Oh, sheet. Oh, and that's all we get out of him? Fine. Are the police trying to locate the engineer, Mr. Drebber, already? Surely that goes without saying. We're very keen to see him found as well. The trouble is, we don't have much to go on aside from the description of the man we heard in court earlier. Which, according to Professor Hairbrain, was of a tall, thin gentleman who has straight white hair and wears a black monocle. So, I was just wondering, I mean, I realize it's probably not possible, but, we'd very much appreciate any more clues you can give us. Wow, Susato-san really knows how to take the bull by the horns. Fine, why not? I have a photograph of the man here from an investigation 10 years ago. Look at this fucking guy. Looks like somebody's OC. And he's got a top hat! Though it appears he already had that black monocle at the time. Spooky. Is he on the cover of the game? Hang on. I'm gonna see if he's on the cover, because he might be on the cover. I don't see him. Nah. Maybe he's on the cover of, like, the actual second game, but not on the, Switch remake. What? Oh, no, nothing. I was just surprised you shared that with us. We all need the man's testimony in court tomorrow, which means we have to do everything we possibly can to track him down in the short time available. So why wouldn't I show you the photograph? Good point. What is it about Lord Van Zeeks? Sometimes I just can't work him out at all. And he's goddamn hot. He's so racist. Gimme. Gimme that shit. Hi, Birdman! What's up, buddy? Hi! What's up, Robin? What's up? I had a feeling you'd be here. Ah, the file I requested for the trial tomorrow. Birdman! Thank you. Birdman! Birdman, come here. Oh, Susato. Oh, she hasn't met Birdman yet. Oh, shit. Are you all right? Who is this man, Mr. Naruhodo? She's got goldfish eyes. Lord Van Zeek's apprentice, apparently. So I'm not the only one. Susato-san can see it, too. Lord Van Zeeks? May we speak with your apprentice for a moment? Yes, please, please, please! With him? Why? Motherfucker! No, get back here, you son of a bitch! Kazuma-sama, oh shit! Oh, fuck! Kazuma? I don't believe it. Your posture, your presence. It can only be. It's you, isn't it, Kazuma-sama? Holy fuck, holy fuck, holy shit, holy fuck, holy shit. I felt something strange the very first time I encountered this cloaked figure. As if I knew him somehow. Can it really be you, Kazuma? Please, please, holy shit. Holy shit. Wait! Don't run away, you fucking Birdman! No! Chase him! God damn it! Too late. What's going on here? Holy shit! What is your interest in my apprentice exactly? You act as if you know the man or something. Well, since when has he been in your care? I don't recall you having an apprentice before I left Britain 6 months ago. Lord Stronghout introduced him to me about 3 months ago, with instructions to mentor him as a prosecutor. But he didn't tell you why, did he? The man appears to be suffering from it. Oh, shit. I didn't see that shit coming. What? The man appears to be suffering from amnesia. He did get a real fucking bad head injury. Oh my god. Oh my god. He's forgotten every last detail about himself. He has amnesia? Tomorrow he will appear in court at my side. What? He's to serve as my judicial assistant, on Lord Strongheart's orders. He'll be in court with us? Now then, unless I'm much mistaken, I believe this conversation has run its course. Holy shit, holy shit, holy shit. Yeah, I was thinking the exact same thing. Like, I thought he intentionally faked his death because, like, the secret government call-out post was making him out to be, like, some kind of sneaky weirdo. But if he has amnesia, that changes, like, everything. Also, I don't know why my freaking little character keeps buffering. I'm grumpy about it. He would have done it in a way to not implicate Reno's gang. I don't know! It's so weird! This is a plot twist I did not expect. And now, unless I'm much mistaken, I believe this conversation has run its course. Yes, thank you. I definitely saw a reaction there. When Susato-san called out like that, it really seemed to hit a nerve. When she called out Kazuma-sama. I'm gonna remember. You guys, I don't need reminders to do things. Let me play the game, please. Okay, so now we just get to sit with this dramatic music now? Holy shit. Do I have anything I can show him? I don't think so. All his shit was in court this morning. Alright, now we just get to sit in this dramatic music while we look at shit, I guess. What a terrible explosion it must have been. Even the steel girders have buckled and twisted in the blast. And what they call the bird cage was right in the middle of it all, just here. But look, Mr. Naruhodo, the metal grill on the floor. It looks as though it's designed to open. Interesting. It does, doesn't it? If the floor had opened at the precise moment the explosion occurred, the birdcage could have dropped through and disappeared from sight. It's a trapdoor! I don't think there's any doubt that this was a very elaborate hoax, is there? Alright, what else can I look at? This wasn't here yesterday. I was just thinking that. Really? But if I'm not mistaken, it's the cage in which the victim was standing before he was apparently beamed through the air. That's right, the bird cage. According to what Professor Harebrain said in court, it's made of wood. Or more precisely, Japanese cypress, I think. And despite having been in an explosion and then falling from a great height, it's relatively unharmed. What wonderfully durable construction, wouldn't you say, Mr. Naruhodo? It's not the same one, it's the trapdoor one. I'd understood that the forensic investigation team had taken it away yesterday to examine it. I suppose they must have brought it back here when they'd finished their work. But sadly, not with the body inside it. No, that's right. I know we were given strict instructions not to touch anything, but still. This is too important a piece of evidence to overlook. We might need it for the trial. Put it in my pocket. Yeah, Science Man designed it, but he didn't build it. I mean, he might not have noticed. You'd already met that masked man, hadn't you, Mr. Naruhodo? Yes, yesterday, in fact, at Lord Van Zeek's office. I see. And if Kazuma-sama really is still alive, it means that Mr. Sholmes lied to us. I know. We're gonna need to speak to him about that. Oh, that's why he wasn't there, because we have to go do this first. You're going to have to leave now. The forensic investigation team are due to arrive shortly. If they find you here, it will cause problems. What sort of problems? Foreign affairs problems. Well, we could do without that. Alright, we'll be on our way. Let's go, Miss Usato. Of course. Hang on 1 second. Give me 1 second. Hi, Gina. I'll talk to you in a minute, love. BRB. Hi, Roxy. Hi. Okay, I'm back. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, my dog's water bowl is in the next room behind me, and I noticed she was trying to drink from it, and it was empty, because she's got a small bowl. Okay, let's go fucking talk to... I want to see my little mans, and fucking grill him about some shit. Where is he? Jones! ¿Dónde está? Is he back here, maybe? Ah, yes, the heavy curtains in the middle of the House of Horrors. Whatever's on the other side of them, you just know it's going to be terrifying, don't you? The sign says it's the Madame Tuspel special exhibit. It means you have to pay extra to go inside. I know, can you believe that? Pay more money as if we hadn't been scared enough already. It's not my doing, Mr. Naruhodo. Alright. Now we must need to go somewhere else. Fine! Where's my mans? Oh, we haven't been here yet today. I doubt he's here, but... My guy! You just having some fun here, there, and everywhere? What's he doing? He's... Oh my, the whole wall of the cell is covered in mathematical equations. And he's still writing more now. Professor, sorry to interrupt. What's up, you motherfucker? Said with affection. Mr. Naruhodo, and who is this young lady? My name is Suzaru Mikotoba. I'm Mr. Naruhodo's judicial assistant. It's a pleasure to meet you, Professor. Oh, if only I'd met a refined young woman like you sooner, bruh. None of this would have happened. No, that's not logical. That makes no sense at all. Oh dear, I'm sorry if my presence here upsets you. I owe you an apology too, Professor. I didn't manage to deliver what I promised you I would in court this morning. Oh, no. The whole thing, that whole miserable affair. It all happened because I've been such a complete and utter clot. Professor Hairbrain? What have you been working on in your cell? Oh, you mean that? Oh dear, how embarrassing. I was suddenly struck by an idea, you see, and I simply had to write it down. The wall was all I had to hand. Oh, is it some new hypothesis? Something to surpass super high voltage instantaneous kinesis, maybe? No, actually. This is my autobiography. It's math! Your autobiography? How I was diddled and fiddled by Albert Hairbrain. Name needs some workshopping, maybe. I found I can represent my odd fortunes with only odd numbers in an ambiguous set of simultaneous equations. Really? I'm going to have to pay back all the loans I took for the kinesis machine, you see? There's going to be a new serial publication for next month. Part 1, an odd birth and odd upbringing. What is that? What does he have? Is that a fucking Yu-Gi-Oh card? You can't beat the man's optimism, that's for sure. I see. Well, for now, would you mind if we talked a little more about the case? Oh, yes, of course. I've been working through the numbers. I was diddled! I was fiddled! By the pair of them! By Assman and by that aloof engineer Drebber. No, I'm gonna say it's a Yu-Gi-Oh card, because it looks like a Yu-Gi-Oh card. But we're not gonna have to sit through an explanation of all these equations, are we? Alright, y'all, I gotta take a real quick break. My dog is, like, barking at me to go outside. I'll be back in, like, 5 minutes. Sorry, I took her out right before the stream, but I guess she has to go again. Diddled by Assman. Very cursed, thank you. I'll be back in, like, 5 minutes. Enjoy some clips. BRB. Here's what we're doing, you guys. I'm gonna take all my notes I just took and scratch that fucker out. New sheet of paper. I've got half an hour left that I'm allowed, that I can stream. I haven't saved yet. Speedrun hop, yes, exactly. Okay. Did it auto-save me? Okay, you know what? We're going over to Frankie's profile, because Frankie's clean. There's a lot of things that could have fucked that up. I think maybe playing in my Ariana profile did it, but we're playing in Frankie's profile now. He's a good boy, he will not betray us. We're fucking speedrunning this. Are you guys ready? Okay, I'm not gonna name my character Dingus now. Let's go Bingus! Two. And so it was like Mist and Mana and oh no! Oh no! Oh no! I've made a terrible mistake! Oh no! What beautiful eyes you have! What beautiful eyes you have, Priscilla! Oh no! Hang on! Hang on, we gotta zoom out and look at this! Oh no! So the main waifu character from the first Rune Factory, her name is Mist. I feel like this character's name is Mistake. Oh no! Oh boy. Secretly spy, snapshot, scribble stories, and scupper my privacy. Could that same reporter be... A camera to the left of him, a notebook to the right. Here I am, stuck in the middle with you. There I am. Yay! The game caught the reference, and I did it too. Yeah. Are we gonna finally cook this fucking goose? Oh, she's been cooked already.
I ask for your guidance.
Oh. Just cancel me already! Do it! I'm a shitty, stupid asshole who doesn't do anything but screw up, I know! So if you want to cancel me, you can go ahead and call it a day! Cancel me! Amazing. Amazing. I saw it with my own eyes, right there in front of me, Mr. Assman! I'm calling him that from now on. His name is not Assman, it's Assman! Mr. Assman! Mr. Assman was spontaneously disassembled! Got like half a panel left to ink, but the problem is that page has some spoilers on it that I didn't necessarily want to give away. So I came up with some interesting censor bars that I think you all will appreciate very much. So we're just gonna flip over to that now. So this stream is not sponsored by Pringles. They're just helping me keep some hidden stuff out of the stream while I just finish inking this page.
Exactly. And as you have nothing to support your wild claims, the prosecution stance remains unchanged. The victim, Dr. John H. Wilson, was killed by a gunshot to the titty.
That's when all this started. When I killed a dude. Oh, look at him. He looks so young despite only being 3 days ago. I love him. I really hope he does not betray me. Congratulations, Cosma. It looks like you're gonna get to study abroad at last. I know, I've been forever dreaming of this day. Finally, those government elites have acknowledged my academic achievements and successes in court. So you'll be representing Japan as you immerse yourself in the most sophisticated legal system in the world. I'm really happy for you. Oh, he's gonna die, isn't he? He's gonna die, isn't he? No! He's talking about how he's gonna leave on his ship. He's gonna die. But he's so big on the cover of the game, they can't kill him. Oh, I shouldn't be theorizing. This is dangerous. I'm really happy for you, and proud as your friend. Welcome to Himbo Town. Himbo Town! Won't you take me to Himbo Town? Where the Himbos live in. They go to town! I belong in the himbo zone, clearly. I'm not sure if I'm buff enough to be a himbo, but then again, neither is Sholmes, so, you know... Sholmes and Elvis bravely default. Neither of them are buff enough to be, like, the true definition of himbos, but, like... They're honorary mentions. They pay their rent on time. It's fine.
Cover up.
Oh? Who did that? I don't have magic.
Crikey!
Okay, I'm back. Whew, it's hot outside. Not as hot as it could be, but it is hot. Leave it to my dog to have the worst timing for needing to go on a potty break, and then taking a million years to find the perfect spot to do her business. Oy. Anyway, I'm back. Let's talk to my guy. Everything I believed in has been turned on its head. My research, Mr. Assman, the kinesis machine, my hypothesis even. Sorry it's come to this. There really was no other way. No, it's not your fault. I wanted to protect my work, but in the end there was nothing worth protecting. It was never my intention to deceive anyone. I didn't want to trick the public. But... no, of course you didn't. But in court this morning I realized something. Oh? Oh, that was wrong. If you've done something wrong without knowing it, you've still done something wrong. Logically, it makes no difference if you were aware of it or not. Ignorance is a poor excuse. The blame still lies with me. Oh, Professor. You believed in me this morning, you know. Barrick did. He believed in my hypothesis. Well, I think that was just a necessary factor in the prosecution establishing the case. No, Barrick wouldn't do something like that. I'm sure he genuinely believed it. Did he? I think I understand now. Why it was that he decided to take on the prosecution in my trial, I mean. Whoa. After the terrible accident happened, nobody would believe in my hypothesis anymore. Not the police, not the prosecution service, not any lawyers even. I feel like I dealt some kind of finishing blow there. So if any other prosecutor had taken the case, if it was anyone other than Barrick, I'm sure the prosecution would have declared my hypothesis a complete and utter nonsense. And in that case, you would have been declared a fraud yourself, Professor. Exactly, which would have been a fate worse than death for me. But Barrick insisted that I was a proper man of science from start to finish. You think that's why he... I know him very well indeed. He's an extremely kind-hearted soul. But that extremely kind-hearted soul spent all morning trying to paint you as a murderer, didn't he? Well, admittedly, that part of the analysis appears to have some flaws in it. And what about the whole Reaper side of things? How does that fit in with a kind-hearted soul idea? Mr. Assman. Do you think he set out to trick me from the very start? Probably. I'm sorry to say that does seem likely, yes. When I first met him, he introduced himself as a wealthy financier. He looked over the paper I'd written and said my work would benefit all humanity and must be pursued. He was so enthused. He was so emphatic. But in reality, he was the mastermind of some vast criminal network, it seems. I still can't believe it. As the machine was essentially a set decoration for some stage magic, it probably didn't require a large amount of investment, actually. But the scale of it wasn't just some small trick. It was a very elaborate feat of deception. All young scientists are full of hope about their burgeoning ideas, full of zeal. But none of us have any money. We want to do research, but we can't afford it. Oh, is that fucking why? I think my microphone was blocking my capture camera. That's why it keeps glitching sometimes. Maybe? Maybe. I don't know. I moved it up and out of my face. So maybe the little character will stop lagging now. Maybe. I don't know. I've just noticed it buffering just a bit.
But none of us have any money. We want to do research, but we can't afford it. Many of us take on barely legal part-time work to try to earn just a few measly pennies to carry on. And to go through all of that, only to be taken for a complete fool. It's too rotten to believe.
It is, I agree. And that's why we have to find those responsible and bring them to justice. Mr. Assman is no more, of course, which leaves only the engineer.
Mr. Enoch Drebber.
Is he an engineer or a magician or a swindler?
It was about a year ago when Mr. Assman first brought Drebber to meet me in my laboratory. Since then, I've met him many times to discuss details about the kinesis machine.
But at no point did you have any inkling that he was just an illusionist?
Oh, he definitely wasn't just an illusionist.
What do you mean?
He was a wealth of deep scientific knowledge. There's no question that the man's a genuine scientist. It's instantly apparent in conversation.
I see.
But the wretched man deceived you, Professor. It's unforgivable. We must do everything we can to find him and bring him to justice. And are there no more clues he can give us as to his whereabouts?
I'm sorry. We only ever discussed the kinesis machine, nothing else.
Although, just once,
I did visit his workshop. Oh, well, that's a kind of a clue. What workshop?
at Drebber's enormous fabrication laboratory where he constructed my great machine.
Susano's like slow turn. She was just like, why didn't you mention this before? Enoch Drebber's workshop. There's every chance we might find the man there. ¿Dónde está? Where is it? So you've been to Drebber's place of work then?
Yes, just once, you understand. It was an enormous place. Plenty of room to construct the kinesis machine, you see.
Where can we find it? We have to go there at once. There's a good chance we'll find Drebber there.
Well, yes, definitely. I'm sure. As in, I'm sure you're not going to want to hear this.
You don't remember where it is.
But I have absolutely no idea where the workshop is at all. I'm so sorry!
I was more than half expecting that.
You see, I was blindfolded in the carriage the entire way there.
Blindfolded you? He wasn't taking any chances then.
The place was incredible, the pinnacle of modern engineering. Even the oil he used was the very best, a special French machine oil that's impossible to obtain in Britain. Ah, the indescribable scent of that imported oil. Perfumers across the world should forget their secret formula and use that instead.
What do you think, Miss Susato? Ode a machine for your next birthday?
I've never used any kind of perfume, Mr. Naruhodo, and I'm not sure I'd like to start with that. I don't suppose you know even part of the workshop's address, Professor? You don't have a business card for Mr. Drebber, for example.
The man was clearly very cautious, Miss Susato. I'm sure he would never...
Yes, I do! He gave me his business card once! It's right here, look!
What?
Let me see that.
Action pose. Throw etiquette to the wind, why don't you?
Enoch Drebber, engineer.
I'm afraid that's all it says. There's no address.
No. Oh well, I can't say I'm surprised. Still, this could be useful. Nice. I would like to see it, please. Show it to me. There's some fucking... There's switch buttons on it! There's a little plus sign, a little minus sign. This man plays video games. Oh, and it's got sweat on it. There's dark smudge here.
I think perhaps it's machine oil.
Yes, possibly. Professor Harebrain mentioned something about the oil Mr. Drebber uses, didn't he?
said it was specially imported, very high-quality oil that's impossible to obtain in Britain.
Yes, that's right, but more importantly, that it's more fragrant than the finest perfume. So, excuse me a moment. Oh, it doesn't appear to have any scent at all.
Don't worry, I expect that just because there's such a tiny amount on here. I have a feeling that we're going to be investigating that, and we're going to use it to be able to track down a thing. Oh yeah, we never looked at this, did we? Oh, it's a little fucked up on the bottom.
Oh, look here, Mrs. Otto. Oh, yes, the wood's cracked and broken a little. I suppose because it fell from such a height.
Yes, from the height at which the balloon was flying down into the crystal tower below. A fall of about 30 feet, or 9 meters.
Leaving the man inside tragically dead.
Okay. Is that it? Appears to be. And then this is a photo of Mr. Edgy Boy. But not our Edgy Boy, some new Edgy Boy with long ass hair. Okay. Maybe I can show him some stuff. I'll show him a few things just to see what he has to say about Zim. Show you this Edgy Boy. No, nothing. Nothing for the photo. What about this? Nope. Fucking nothing. Yeah, and then the rest of this was in court, so he probably doesn't have anything to say. Alright, let's go! Let's go somewhere else. I'm gonna check here. Because there was a thing here once. Nope. Alright. Jonesy, are you home? Where's my mans? Nope, everybody's gone. Everyone's out having adventures. Nope. Alright, we already been here, Already been here. Let's go back here. Is he here now? Can I see my mans now? God damn it, where is he? Can we go back here? No, we were already here and she doesn't want us here anymore, probably. Come back later. Alright, maybe we need to talk to Gina again. Hi, Gina. Oh, there we go. Gina. We were actually hoping that we could investigate the scene again. Yeah, alright. It's around here, you can do what you like. Oh, that's alright. Wait, we've done this before. We've already been through this conversation. Can't you do anything, Gina? In your capacity as Inspector Lestrade? Look, I'd like to help you out. But I'm just a trainee, aren't I? Ain't nothing I can do. When it suits you, yes. Alright. Well, maybe there's some more stuff we can look at down here.
What a shame that the symbolic landmark of the Great Exhibition has been damaged like that.
Yes, unfortunately the birdcage crashed in the most prominent position possible. It's the gods giving us a warning, if you ask me. Man must travel under his own steam and not cut corners with instantaneous kinesis.
But imagine what might have happened if the birdcage had landed in a slightly different location. The death toll could have been far worse. So I think perhaps it was a blessing in disguise.
Well, the gods are benevolent, obviously. I did say it was just a warning. Man must travel under his own steam, or next time birdcages will rain down on all of you. You know, skate cheese.
The faith is much stronger than I had realized.
Well, how do you think I passed the entrance exam for Yume University? Wasn't by studying alone! Rinosuke! My son. I love you, but you're just a little bit of a dumbass. I see the hydrate! I don't have my water. I gotta go refill my water cup.
return to the stream.
I'm back.
I obtained the water. Ha! Okay. Okay, what else are we missing down here?
Here's the scorching ground that you mentioned.
Yes, and there's what's left of the green balloon's envelope. All clear evidence of the balloon that exploded on the day of the incident.
Poor Professor Harebrain. I do feel sorry for him that his dreams had been shattered like this.
Someone's well and truly burst his bubble, as it were.
Ryunosuke.
It was a balloon, not a bubble. Stupid. Ouch, I'm a bad person.
Ah, the Crystal Tower. I can't believe I'm seeing it at such close proximity with my own eyes.
You've really been looking forward to the great exhibition, haven't you, Miss Usato?
Oh, yes. When I found out that I had to return to Japan, I'm afraid I cursed my luck.
But here you are, back in London, gazing up at the magnificent tower.
I know. Perhaps I was wrong to curse my luck so harshly.
Great, sir. Anything important that I need to examine here? Anything? There's the balloons again. You gonna say something about aliens again, Ryunosuke?
Oh, look! A flying balloon! I've never seen one in the flesh before.
I can't understand how they can fly. So high up as well.
Oh, but think of the view, Mr. Naruhodo! You must be able to see for miles and miles.
I do think of it, and it terrifies me. I mean, it would be a certain death if you fell out.
I'm sure they're perfectly safe. After all, they've been invented by some of the brightest minds in the world.
Let's not forget that we know at least one has exploded.
I'm sure there are other ways to fly.
Alright. Maybe just better not try going up these stairs to the stage area now. If we were to bump into the forensic investigation team, it sounds like it could make trouble. Alright, is there a little sign? The stage up there is where the experiment was set up. It's very high, isn't it?
About 30 feet, I believe. Or 9 meters if you prefer. Craning your neck up to see it starts to hurt after a while, doesn't it?
Yes, we need to get up there and look around properly. Didn't they say that the cage fell about 30 feet out of the sky? Suspicious. Although, if I'm honest, climbing all those stairs makes my chest hurt.
Oh dear. I think perhaps you should exercise more, Mr. Naruhodo.
Go train on some stairs like in the Idol animes. Hey, Gina! Oh, the scent! The smell! Toby! I totally forgot! Toby! Sniffer boy!
Yeah, I'm still learning me letters at the moment. I only know A to E, so if it ain't too much bleeding trouble. Actually, Gina, it's the back of the card that's important.
How come?
There's just a dirty old smudge on the back, that's all. It turns out that this is a very high-quality French machine oil. It has a very particular scent, apparently.
You don't say! Let's have a whiff, then. You sure? I don't smell nothing. No, we didn't mean that you should smell it. Oh, right! You mean Toby. I totally forgot about Toby until I showed her that, and I was like, wait a fucking second! Toby! His sense of smell is so good he can track people over the oceans, can't he?
Professor Harebrain informs that this oil is unique to Mr. Drebber's workshop.
just hold him like a little machine gun. I didn't forget the dog, but I forget they were making a whole big deal about him being able to track shit. And I was thinking in my head, like, when they showed us the splot, and I'm like, okay, this little splooch of oil is gonna be important at some point. And then I forgot that, like, oh yeah, they were talking yesterday about how the dog's like a whole big deal, he can smell shit. Fuck yeah, let's go, Toby! I think he's picked up a scent.
So you mean, if he follows the scent to this oil, Toby could lead us to that dodgy cove's workshop? That's right. That's exactly what we were hoping. All right, then. We'll give it a go. I'll just borrow that.
Wait, when did you... Once a pickpocket, always a pickpocket.
If I can lead everyone to that Drebber's workshop, I'll be the boss's boss before next week. Oh, yes, Gina. I'm sure you'll be promoted.
Poor Gregson. No, fuck Gregson. He's not poor at all. Fuck him.
Right then, Otto. Leave it to me.
Sorry?
We're gonna get going after that dodgy engineer co right this minute. Oh, but hang on. Someone's supposed to be on guard duty here all the time.
I'm afraid we can't help. We need to get on with our investigation as well, Gina.
Oh, right. Oh well, never mind. It ain't gonna be me what gets the neck. It'll be the boss.
Poor Gregson again.
Ready, Toby? Got that oil scent, have ya? Come on then, boy. See you later.
Bye, Gina. Good luck.
I do hope the scent of that oil leads them to that swindler's workshop.
Yes, I hope so too. Ideally before the dog swims across the channel to France. Well, I think we've done all the investigating we can here for now. Just determine the whereabouts of Mr. Drebber.
I'm sure Gina and little Toby won't let us down. Now then, do you think we ought to try to speak with Mr. Sholmes at this point?
Yes. I have questions for him.
We have things to discuss, and I'm dying to meet him again after all these months.
Yes, it's quite possible he might know something useful, you're right. But we ought to find him at Madame Tuspel's. He's supposed to be working there as a temporary waxwork exhibit.
Yes, Iris told me all about his latest unusual venture.
Sholmes, you better not be evil. I'm gonna be sad. There we go. You have to tell us if you're evil or it's entrapment. Alright, there we go.
Here we are again, at the House of Horrors. I'm afraid I haven't gotten used to the place yet. I'd still like to turn on my heels and go straight home, via the confectionery, of course.
Suzato-san really is after something sweet today, isn't she? Oh, what's the matter?
Look, Mr. Naruhodo, look at that waxwork!
Is it Sholmes? I'm quite sure it wasn't there before. Oh, I'm quite sure it wasn't there before. There he is! Local dumbass, Herlock Sholmes. There he is.
Looks exactly like Mr. Sholmes down to the very, very last detail.
Aha!
What is it?
Oh, sorry. I think you'll find that's the temporary waxwork himself. Oh, hello.
Ah, the friend of my dedicated employee.
Oh, yes. Hello again. It's Rinosuke. Rinosuke Naruhodo.
I must say, I'm quite spellbound by the great detective. He is a marvel. My precious waxwork is already back where it belongs.
You don't mean...
But yes, the mystery is solved already.
Oh, holy shit. Really? Wow, Mr. Sholmes can really engage his brain when he's hungry enough. Powered by food.
So, as you can see, he has returned to his habitual duties.
Yes.
His habitual duties? Alors, do not disturb, huh?
He's just posing. Of course, Suzato-san. She looks very perplexed. Well, I want to go see the statue. I want to see if I'm correct about it being somebody we know. But they're not going to let me, of course. Hey, Sholmes! Kicks him in the knee.
We really do need to speak with Mr. Sholmes, and I'm longing to say hello again. But where is he?
He's just doing the fucking tango back there.
Rinosuke, do you have any idea where Mr. Sholmes is?
No. I have no idea, Suzato-san. I have no fucking clue. I think you might find that he's quite nearby, actually.
Oh! What do you...
Sholmes! Indeed, my dear fellows, it is I! The world-famous great detective and waxwork, Herlock Sholmes! There he is. I want to see my mans. My dumbass fans. Oh, that's perfect. I want to see my dumbass mans. Here he is. I want to see my dumbass mans. There he is. I love he. Oh, Susanoo, no! Susanoo-san? Susanoo-san! Oh, Jesus Christ. Sholmes, look what you did! Look what you did! My most humble apologies.
I thought I died and gone to eternal paradise for a moment, via London.
My dear madam, allow me to make amends for you by offering you a tasty free deduction at some point. As long as it's not of questionable street food quality. Burn! Shit!
I don't understand. Why are you working as a waxwork here, Mr. Sholmes?
Merely a secret identity, you understand? Though the case is largely solved now.
Largely solved?
Oh, we're talking about the waxwork abduction, I presume. Indeed we are, my good fellow. As I predicted, it was as easy as proverbial pie. It's not heaven if you have to go through London. I'll admit I've never been, but I would like to go someday. I've never been to Europe. Though I confess, I've yet to partake of a pie, proverbial or otherwise, or any food so far today, as that matter. Sholmes, you gotta eat food, bud. Oh no, he hungry! He's a hungry boy! That stomach rumble echoed around the whole museum. So how did you manage to solve it so quickly? Ah, well, do remember I said it was largely solved. Anyway, I simply negotiated with the culprit. Are you familiar with the so-called telephone?
Oh, yes! It's a most modern invention, allowing you to hold a conversation with people far away. In Japan, only the imperial capital and a handful of other cities are connected as yet.
This morning, a telephone call was received here from the perpetrator of the abduction. Abduction! Fuck, I can't speak! As such, I was able to negotiate terms, and in the end, the waxwork was returned. Well, that's amazing. Just between you and I, it would appear the culprit had always intended to return the stolen waxwork in any event.
Oh, but I thought whoever was responsible had demanded a ransom, no?
Yes, I think perhaps. The ransom demand was necessary to avoid unwanted suspicion regarding the true motive. I'm telling you guys, they stole the waxwork, used it as a body double for the magic science thing.
But does that not mean your negotiating was entirely unnecessary?
Burn. The fact that I must ask you to keep secret from Madame Tispels at all cost. A hungry young Iris awaits my return to Baker Street after all. Poor Iris. Now then, do I sense that you have some business with the Great Waxwork? Yes. We do actually, sir. Ah, fine, I'll do this one first, but then, because I imagine the cause of a conversation is going to go deep, and I want to get the stupid conversation out of the way first. We're in the process of trying to track somebody down. Oh?
Yes, a man by the name of Enoch Drebber. He's the swindler who duped Professor Hairbrain and the engineer who built the kinesis machine.
A swindler and an engineer? Quite the modern man. He also seems to be a conjurer of sorts, too, with considerable knowledge of stage magic. Oh, we really need to locate him before the trial resumes tomorrow morning. But we have so few clues to go on, that's the trouble. Do you have any good ideas? I have no data yet. It is a capital mistake to have good ideas before one has data. If I knew something of the man's appearance, at least, I may be in a better position to help. Yes, Drebber's appearance. Fortunately for you, however, presently I have little to occupy myself and little to fill my stomach. As soon as you find any clue, no matter how small, I should gladly give you my thoughts on it. Oh yeah? Little clue like this one, perhaps? Mr. Sholmes, would you cast your eyes over this photographic print? Cast your eyes over it!
It's of Mr. Enoch Drebber, the face of the engineer we seek.
Well, all Englishmen look broadly the same, of course. Damn, dude. Looking at the photograph won't be particularly instructive. Ooh, spicy. Ooh. You all right, Mr. Sholmes? Ah, yes, forgive me. Very interesting, this. Very interesting indeed. Oh, I know this fucker.
What's wrong, Mr. Sholmes? You've turned quite pale all of a sudden.
This is just gonna be the spiciest conversation of the game. Tell me more! Okay, fine. I hate to say it like that. Fine. We'll talk about Kazuma instead. No, I want to talk about Kazuma, but now you've got me intrigued about this long-haired, white-haired anime boy fucker. Kazuma, though. Focus. Mr. Sholmes, did you lie to us? My dear Naruhodo, stay that piercing stare. What is this about?
Last winter, when we were first on our way to Britain aboard the steamship, your words were very clear.
So then, let us unravel this mystery and discover what events led to this curious murder.
You told us that it was murder, and you examined Kazuma-sama's body.
Indeed. And wherein lies the problem? We met him earlier today. The victim, Kazuma Asogi. You're quite sure?
He was wearing some sort of mask and was apparently suffering from amnesia. But yes, I'm quite sure. It was Kazuma-sama.
Holy shit.
You must have known at the time, Mr. Sholmes, that he wasn't actually dead.
Well, I can only assume I was swept up in the murderous atmosphere of the moment. But the fellow wasn't dead at all? Priceless! I don't suppose that performance would pass muster, would it, Mr. Naruhodo? I would believe that the crewmen present at the time made a mistake. But not you, Mr. Sholmes. I will now tell you something of the first importance, my dear fellow. Great detectives are wont to lie. It will serve you well to remember that. Yeah, apparently. Please, Mr. Sholmes. Tomorrow in court, you will find yourself on the threshold of a very great mystery. For now, I'm afraid that's all I can say. Sholmes! I have a suggestion, Mr. Naruhodo. Will you indulge me? Oh, well, what is it? As I explained to you when you arrived, the missing waxwork has been returned, and I personally reinstalled it in the exhibit from which it was taken, behind those thick curtains. They're hiding it from us. I wish to see it because there's something fucking weird about it. Oh, yes, the Professor exhibit, is it? Would you like to see it? For a mere 5 shillings? That's a special one-time only price, you understand. Sholmes! What? The opportunity won't come again, I might add. Wouldn't you like to see the fruits of my labor?
Oh, well, we do have a rather pressing investigation to carry out. Perhaps we could postpone?
The price is a very reasonable 5 shillings. I think you'll find it's well worth it. Are you being quite serious, Mr. Sholmes? Surely you need only look at my expression to ascertain if this is seriousness or silliness. I can never tell with you, that's the point.
Very well, it couldn't hurt. Here's your 5 shillings.
Gratefully received. So, a special exhibit awaits behind the curtain. I invite you to peruse it at your leisure. What the fuck is behind that curtain? I'm so scared. I'm terrified.
Well, the money's been spent, so let's go and see the special exhibit.
I'm terrified of what's behind the curtain. Huh, through those heavy curtains at last. Here we fucking go! Oh, wait, yeah, there we go. 5 shillings we've had to pay. Doesn't seem right somehow that Mr. Sholmes slipped the money into his own pocket, does it? Fucking guy.
No. Ah! Well, we could ask Gina to retrieve it for us, using her special skills.
Pickpocketing police officers and diddling detectives. That's what makes Britain great. Please stop using the word diddle. I'm begging you. Not to mention demigod prosecutors taking the law into their own hands or chip-loving inspectors.
Inspector Gregson comes off rather well in that list, I think.
Well, we know he's a dick. Alright, what's behind the fucking curtain? I don't know what I expected. Sholmes, you dumb motherfucker.
Oh dear, I felt a shiver run down my spine as soon as we walked in here.
Mrs. Otto, I say we turn on our heels and go straight home via a really big confectionery.
We certainly can't do that. We paid 5 shillings already.
True. Actually, now that I'm looking a little more closely, we've paid good money to see an exhibit that's clearly incomplete. The nerve of the great diddling detective! Stop using the word diddle! Is more terrifying than anything else in this place.
This must be what Mr. Sholmes meant when he said the case was largely solved.
And be that as it may, Mr. Sholmes heavily implied there'd be a clue about the engineer in here, didn't he? But where? Since we paid 5 shillings, let's do 5 shillings worth of investigation, shall we?
Yes, we will get what we paid for.
Is that fear or frustration that's making Suzato-san's voice tremble?
Okay, hang on, have a sip of my drink.
Look at this punk. Who are you?
This part of the exhibit is just as disturbing as the rest. It looks so real.
This must be a young man. Young man! A young man in a white overcoat.
And he has a large shovel in his hand, too. Look.
You didn't expect to hear the word diddle so much today? Well, isn't that just diddling your expectations? Perhaps we should investigate in a little more detail. Get really close to him! Hello? Show me his weird face. Why is he looking like... Was that a fucking weird eye patch? Or a weird monocle, perhaps? Sir? Okay, fine, I'll look at what I'm supposed to look at, jeez. Oh, what's this here?
Well, this would appear to be a lens in the middle, so I believe it's probably a camera.
A camera? But it's so small. British technology is incredible, isn't it? I mean, what about Mr. Sholmes' skin prints?
I think perhaps you should treat Mr. Sholmes' inventions as exceptions to the rule. But anyway, why would the man be in a graveyard at night with a camera?
I wonder. Perhaps he was trying to capture the moment a dead body came back as a ghost on film.
We'll just borrow this for a little while, I think.
Why? Why do you need that?
By looking at the photographic plate inside the camera, we can see what picture was taken.
Oh, I guess so. Oh, it's a wax statue. What's a photographic plate?
It's a piece of glass coated in a special emulsion that reacts to the light coming through the lens. If we open the cover at the back of the camera, we should find it. Let's have a look.
You should see yourself, Suzato-san. Your eyes are shining. You really do like machinery, don't you? Okay. Let me look at it. Oh, look, the cover came open.
Yes, now there should be a glass plate inside. You have to change the plate with each new photograph you want to take, you see.
Is something wrong?
There is no plate. It's been removed.
Ah, what a pity. But I suppose if you think about it, this wouldn't be the actual camera that was used at the time, just like the waxwork isn't the real person. So we'd never found a photographic print of the executed convict coming back to life anyway.
Oh, yes, you're quite right, of course.
Of course, Suzato-san. She looks devastated.
wonderful machine.
You really love contraptions like this, don't you?
Oh, yes. Anything mechanical I find absolutely irresistible.
Almost irresistible, surely.
Well, whenever I see a pocket watch, for example, I can't help myself. I simply have to take it apart.
That's worrying.
Yes, Father tells me the time by rumblings of his stomach now. He's given up having a watch.
Susanoo! Poor Professor Mikotoba. Oh my god. Wait, there was more things. Fuck, there was more things. Oh shit, is that blood? Wait, I thought it was just a weird design on the side.
Look, Mr. Naruhodo.
What is it?
On the bellows just here, there would seem to be some very dark red stains.
Yes, you're right. It looks like blood, actually.
Oh my.
I'm sure it's not what you're thinking. Oh shit. A multi-class monk artificer. I'd believe it. I could get in on it. Okay, so is there more to examine on this punk?
This part of the exhibit is just as disturbing as the rest.
Okay, we already talked about this. But apparently there's more we need to look at on this punk. More of this dude's shit.
Lantern, perhaps? Mayhaps a lantern?
That's quite a large lamp the man's carrying. Or is it a lantern? It's not unlike a Japanese chochin paper lantern, actually, is it?
Lamp, lantern, chochin. The point is it casts very little light. To be walking alone in the graveyard at night with only this... Well, I certainly couldn't do it.
I'm not sure I could visit a graveyard at all, even in broad daylight, to be honest. Okay. Anything special about his crotch, perhaps? Wait, that's a button? No. I was just thinking, like, the buttons look the same as the things on what's-his-fuck's business card.
What a large shovel. He's holding it rather ominously, isn't he? What on earth was the man doing with a shovel in a graveyard in the middle of the night?
Mrs. Zato?
Yes?
That's a spade, isn't it?
No, it's a shovel.
No, shovels are for digging. That's for scooping. We're doing this again! That's for scooping up loose material. It's a spade.
We've been through this, Mr. Naruhodo. It's a shovel.
No. Although, we haven't considered trowels. Oh god.
We've allowed ourselves to be distracted, I feel. Perhaps we should concentrate on what the man was doing with the implement.
So we're going to bury the hatchet? You're right, though. What was the man doing in the graveyard in the first place? That's the real question. My god. I can't believe that, like, the fucking... I can't see his face very well, can you?
Perhaps if I just... Oh, do you think you should be manhandling the exhibits, Mr. Naruhodo?
I'll put it back exactly as it was, don't worry. It's that guy, isn't it? It's that guy from the photo, isn't it? Well, he certainly do have an implement there. What on earth? How can... I don't believe it. A black monocle.
Mr. Naruhodo, is it possible that this man is...
I knew it. Because we saw the frickin' monocle earlier! I could see it, like, just barely. Yes. Oh my god, look at his portrait! He's so... Hang on. I need an eye patch. Wait. Oh, wait, that's the wrong thing. Wait. Eye patch. Oh, that's not a... That's like a freaking little anime eye patch. That's different. That's no fun. I need a pirate eye patch. Fuck you. Get out of here. You have a monocle? I don't think I have a monocle. For the record, these all come with the program. A monocle, mustache... No monocle, unfortunately. Damn. Next time. Next time I'll get myself a proper eye patch eventually, you guys, don't worry. The color of his hair is different, but it's unmistakably him. And he's making a face like this. Indeed it is. Sholmes? Yeah. Mr. Sholmes! This man is the subject of your present hunt, I believe. Yes, that's right. Just who is this man? Why is he here in this exhibit? And why does the convict behind him have no head? The head was missing when the model was returned by the thief who stole it. What a surprise. So then the case isn't yet solved, is it? Did I not say so myself? Largely solved were my words, I believe. I must locate the missing head, tout de suite, as Madame would say, or I'll be in great trouble. Please forgive the fact that I don't know how to pronounce anything in French. A very hungry Iris still awaits my return to Baker Street, preferably with rations.
Do you know, though, something about this room is strange.
Strange? What do you mean?
Well, the displays in the House of Horrors are supposed to depict real events, are they not?
Indeed they are, Miss Susato. Do go on.
And as terrifying as they are, the scenes in the other exhibits are believable. But this one... This surely couldn't ever have really happened, could it?
I think it's time I educated you a little. About the nature of the incidents involving the professor 10 years ago. Yes, please! I would love some lore. I would love some lore. Thank you. I believe I told you a little about the professor yesterday, did I not? He took the lives of 5 victims, every one being either a member of the aristocracy or royalty. All were attacked by an enormous hunting hound and had their throats ripped from their bodies. Yeesh.
Oh gosh, an enormous hound? How awful.
A Baskerville hound, perhaps? After taking the life of his 5th victim, the killer was apprehended. It was a case of unprecedented magnitude in Britain, you understand. Accordingly, the professor was tried in a closed court. No members of the public were permitted. Closed court? So you mean that the professor's identity... As you've surmised, my dear fellow, his identity was never made public. Naturally, he was found guilty and was summarily sentenced to death by hanging. He was buried in a grave at Lowgate Cemetery, which adjoins the rear of the prison where he had been held. However, that was not the end of the affair.
Oh!
The very night that he was buried, the convicted man came back to life. Came back to life? He clawed his way out of the ground and emerged into the moonlit graveyard. The exhibit here depicts that very scene as described by the sole witness to these chilling events. There was a witness? But of course, my dear fellow, it was none other than... the young man in the white overcoat. Enoch Drebber. He saw it happen? Yeah, no one can check pulses in this game. Nobody at all. So this is a waxwork model of Enoch Drebber. 10 years ago, the convicted professor, having been gibbeted and buried, emerged from his grave in the dead of night. Sole witness to that unimaginable scene was this young man. From appearances, I would say he was about 20 years old.
So horrifying.
Scared out of his wits, the young Drebber ran to a nearby police station to report the incident. And the sheer terror of what he'd seen is said to have turned his hair white overnight. Oh, is that why? Yes, as shown in the photograph we have of him. His hair is completely white. So that's... God, I almost don't want to say it, but anyone who's played original Ace Attorney, you know exactly what I'm thinking about right now. You know what I'm thinking about. You know where my brain's going. I don't want to spoil it. I don't want to say it for the folks in here who haven't played original Ace Attorney, but those who have played original Ace Attorney, you know exactly what I'm thinking about right now. You know where my brain's going. For the following few days, the story of what he'd seen was on every front page in the capital.
public was frantic for every last detail about the killer who'd come back to life. As you've seen, an exhibit was even created here, Madam to Spells.
I can quite understand why the man's hair turned white, certainly. But what I don't understand is what Mr. Drebber was doing in the first place. In a lonely graveyard in the middle of the night.
Yes, what was he up to? Give me that lore. Sip, 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 sip. The professor's acts of terror threw London's upper classes into a complete panic 10 years ago. It was a great scandal, one might say, at the very highest levels of society. And since the killer's identity was never made public, rumors abounded. After all, no killer had ever before been systematically employed a dog as a weapon of murder. And yes, I can imagine the impact the case must have had. But in time, of course, the rumors abated. So too did talk of the shocking witness account of the convict who came back to life. It was forgotten, dismissed as a dubious ghost story, as a preposterous parlor tale.
But why did people stop believing it?
Why, simply because there was no resurrection to speak of, and as was established, in fact. But what do you mean by no resurrection? The police investigated the grave in Lowgate Cemetery and published their findings. The convict's body was found to be buried exactly where it had been following the execution.
No! But that would mean Mr. Drebber must have lied to the police and the newspapers.
That would appear to be the only logical explanation, yes. The young man subsequently vanished from society and nothing has been heard of him since. It's rather striking, then, that he should resurface now, don't you think? Of course the convicted murderer couldn't have really come back to life, that's not possible. But Drebber's hair is unusually white, and if that really did happen overnight as a result of shock, it's hard to believe the incident was an out-and-out lie. I'll be honest with you guys, if all I had to do was watch a dead man crawl out of his grave and I could get, like, white hair without having to bleach it, I think I'd take it. That'd be so cool, because then I could dye my hair, like, cool pastel colors, and, like, it wouldn't be a pain in the ass to upkeep. I've got, like, dark brown hair, as you can see, but... I don't know, if that's the only price I had to pay, I think I'd take it. I could have, like, a cool anime character origin story of how I got my white hair, and people would be like, hey, how'd you get your hair so white? What kind of bleach and toner do you use? And I'd be like, oh, I saw a dead guy crawl out of his grave once, and I was so freaked out that my hair turned white. There are worse ways to have your hair turned white, as evidenced by other games in the Ace Attorney franchise. And anime. I'm thinking about Tokyo Ghoul, personally. But yeah. I'm just saying. Listen, I'm stressed enough already. If I could just, I started going gray at 18. Like, I don't know, I think it would look cool. I'd love to have cool white anime person hair. That'd be neat. And I could dye it whatever the fuck color I wanted and it wouldn't matter. Doesn't matter if they're here in Britain or in Japan, graveyards are scary.
Now I come to think of it, this is the first time I've seen a British grave. According to what I've read, the custom in Britain is to bury the dead as they are without cremation.
What? But, oh my god! I had this exact conversation with a teacher while I was living abroad. Hang on, we'll finish this conversation first and then I'll circle back to it. But yeah, in Japan, like, pretty much everyone is cremated. But if you do that, you might accidentally bury people while they're still alive.
I'm not sure that would be worse than accidentally incinerating people while they're still alive.
I think we can both agree that it's best not to still be alive when our time comes then.
And what am I to say to that?
Okay, so that didn't go exactly where I thought it was going to, but when I was working in Japan, I had a conversation with one of my teachers, like one of my coworker teachers, and we had this long conversation about like horror movies and stuff. And she asked me, it's like, so Starla, the horror, like zombie movies are really popular in America, right? And I said, yeah, there's a lot. And she said, so in America, people aren't cremated. And I said, well, I mean, some people are. Like, I want to be cremated personally, because the idea
of burial kind of freaks me out. But largely people are buried in a graveyard. Just, they're not cremated, they just put the bodies underground. That's why cemeteries in America are so fucking huge. And she said, but what happens if it rains? And I'm like, oh my god! They put them in a nice box first, and they bury them pretty deep. So it's not like, unless you live in like New Orleans or some shit, you're not gonna see like bodies washing down the river in the rain. Some sects like the Catholicism didn't allow for cremations until relatively recently. I'm learning things. Can tell you that happens. Yeah, I'm just thinking back to that whole thing about the so-and-so on Tumblr has been stealing bones from a New Orleans cemetery. Don't let her get away with it. It's a call-out post for bone theft on Tumblr. See, that wouldn't have happened if people had just been cremated. Anyway. I made a TikTok video about that conversation a while ago. But, oh boy. It was an interesting conversation, let's just say.
This must be the killer, the fiend known as the Professor.
Yes, I think so. Yeah, don't rob graves, kids. According to what Madame Tispel said, he killed 5 victims, all of... What? Molly! How long have you been over there? My cat is like hiding on my bookshelf. I didn't know she was over there until she just... This tiny little kitten sneeze. Itty bitty little achoo behind me, and I'm like, the fuck? How long have you been over there?
The waxwork is so lifelike, isn't it? Like all the models in this place.
I know. It looks like it could start moving at any moment, doesn't it? If only it had a head, that is. If I only had a head. Dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. Perhaps we should examine it in a little more detail. Enhance. Okay, well, I would love to examine it, though. There we go. Like, they let me zoom in. They have to have something for me to look at.
So this is the condemned man.
His torso, anyway. Oh! He recently played Squid Game. Yes, the so-called professor.
Then perhaps his head was chopped off by a guillotine. But unable to find peace, he emerged from his grave as a headless ghost.
Do we have to entertain such terrifying ideas, Miss Susato? Anyway, I'm sure the model had a head once. There's a metal fitting for it, see?
Then perhaps Mr. Sholmes absent-mindedly forgot to reattach it.
That's an extremely absent-minded detective you're describing, isn't it? Well, it's not out of character.
Or perhaps thief absent-mindedly forgot to include the head when he or she returned it to the museum.
And that would be an extremely absent-minded thief. Could there have been some reason why only the head wasn't returned? Okay, guys. I almost said, like, the wax head was fucked up when the wax dummy was placed in the balloon, and then dropped, and then the balloon exploded. But I think the idea is that the wax figure, if we're assuming that the wax figure was necessary. Oh, maybe they swapped it out and the original head just got lost? I don't know. I'm telling you guys, the wax figure was involved in the crime somehow. Well, whatever the reason, it means we don't know what the face of the infamous professor looked like, do we? Oh. There's something caught just inside the convict's jacket here. It looks like a piece of broken glass. Quite a big piece, too. It's very thick. From the Crystal Tower! Oh, well shit, if the wax figure was at the Crystal Tower, that means that my theory could be right. If the dummy was in the cage that was, like, holed up inside of a balloon... Okay, so we were talking in court this morning, time-wise, about how the dummy with the bird cage was hidden inside of the balloon. Oops. was hidden inside of the balloon, and then the balloon got popped with the flaming arrow, and then the birdcage fell and shattered the glass. Maybe they didn't return the face of the wax statue because the face got melted from the heat of the fire and the explosion. Because I'm not sure if wax statues are made entirely of wax. I feel like the stuff underneath them is probably like the face is wax, but the rest of it is something else. Because the wax face is like what's important. I don't know that much about wax figures, but I feel like maybe the face just got ruined in the fires of hell. Didn't they retrieve a real body from the Crystal Tower impact? Yeah, that's the catch, isn't it? That is the catch. That's the sticky point. That's why I thought that maybe the wax figure was like on the stage. It's confusing. I don't know. It's very thick, isn't it? About 5 times thicker than normal window glazing, I'd say. Where could such a thick piece of glass have come from, I wonder? I suppose it must have been made thick to increase its strength. But why? Well, perhaps because the glass had to span a particularly wide area, such as in a big building, for example. Ah, well, we've seen a large glass building recently, haven't we? And some of the glass was broken, too. You don't mean... Exactly. The Crystal Tower at the Great Exhibition. But why would glass from the Crystal Tower be lodged inside this Waxworks jacket? Think about it, Susato. Makes you think, doesn't it? Yeah, it do. It do make me think about several things. I'm thinking about several things, thank you. Earlier in court, we established that the kinesis experiment was a trick. And now we discover this fragment of glass here in this waxwork. Is it just a coincidence? It never is, my boy! It's never a coincidence. Who knew being a defense lawyer also involved being a detective? Yeah. Is there anything else? Anything else at all? Apparently not. Oh, fuck! Gina! What the bleeding Nora, Otto? What have you gone and done? Gina, what are you doing here? I asked Iris and she said this is where you'd be, so... Gina, not so loud in the museum. Madame Tispels will have you take a position as a waxwork if you're not careful. I think there might be a more pressing concern. I still had some flash powder left from 6 months ago, so... Alright, Gina, we understand, but please, put down the gun. Gina! Sorry, I got scared. You should try being the one on the other end of the barrel. So, what brings you here, Gina? What brings me here? What do you think? We found it! We found that dodgy cow's workshop. What? You found Drebber's workshop? Hi, Toby. Hi, Toby. Yep, Toby's nose took me straight there. The boss and the others are heading over there now in drag. So come on. In drag. Not in drag. Oops. Tobias, drag queen Tobias? No, probably not. Here's the address I got the boss to write out. Oh, thank you, Gina. We'll make our way there at once. All right then, see you there. I do not wish to see Toby or Tobias in drag game. Please no. You go. Don't mind me. I'll just stay here, being still. What? Ah, where'd your eyes go? I know my place. In the exhibit over there. Oh dear, someone is feeling sorry for himself. Sholmes, put your eyes back, my friend. Let's go, Mr. Sholmes, you're coming. Your words hearten me, I must say. But if I were to shirk my duties here, Madame would have me pay monetary recompense, and Iris's dinner plate would be empty once more. Forget that, I'll pay for everything! And now he perks up. Yes. Then there's not a moment to lose, my dear fellow! I shall hail a carriage at once. No offer to share the cost for Mr. Sholmes, then.
I shall gladly pay half, Mr. Naruhodo.
Thank you, Miss Susato. Right, let's go.
Oh, Roxy's sleeping.
Let's find. Ooh. Oh. A work in progress this machine you see. Interesting. That looks like.
Oh, it's another super high voltage instantaneous kinesis machine.
Indeed, it would appear so, though only a prototype, naturally.
Ah, what you got here then? Gina, well done for finding this place. And in such little time. You've really worked miracles.
It's Toby here is the miracle worker.
Toby!
Tobias. Ah, I thought you lot would show up before long. Hello, Inspector. That's one knitted brow. Looks like he's eating a lemon, not a bag of fish and chips.
So, Inspector, is there any sign of the engineer?
Sadly not. We didn't find a soul in here.
Oh, what a shame.
Well, thank you for letting us know about this place and giving us the chance to investigate. According to what Gina tells me, we've only found it thanks to a clue you lot turned up with. I wouldn't want to, say, go to Paris with a debt of gratitude unpaid, now would I? Thank you. Anyway, if you're hoping to snoop around in here, I'd get cracking. Lord Van Zeeks and the forensic investigation team are on their way here as we speak. Them again. I imagine you've got the picture by now. They don't take too kindly to lawyer types. Van Zeeks is a lawyer. Prosecutors are a type of lawyer. Right. So then, my dear fellow, let's turn this place upside down whilst we have the chance. And you, Sholmes. Pardon? They take even less kindly to great detectives than they do lawyers. Very droll, Gregson, very droll. But you may consider me nothing more than an inconspicuous waxwork model. He's so stupid. Right then, let's see what we can find in here. Alright. Talk to me, Gregson. What do you find?
I'm sorry, Mr. Naruhodo. That machine is covered by the Special Dispensation for Scientific Equipment.
Can we please just come up? The SDSE is so much easier to say. Come on.
There would be serious repercussions if you were to examine it from the Crown and the government.
Those two don't seem to care. Or mind. Well, those two don't seem to be holding back. God. It's quite hollow inside. No working parts or devices of deception to be seen, my dear fellow.
No loose change dropped on the floor, nothing. Not even a bone for Toby here, my dear fella. British people are very much ruled by their own ideals, aren't they?
I think that's just these two, Miss Susato. Amazing. Ooh, is that a quiver? Oh, I missed it. I missed it. This is the European-style quiver of arrows with steel bolts inside.
Oh, do you suppose?
Crossbow bolts, these. Just the right size for the bow you lot turned up with at the exhibition grounds. In other words... Yup, that's more evidence to support your theory. It all goes to show that Drebber was the one pulling the strings behind the scenes of the whole scam. Nice. Gimme. Okay. Secret door. Gimme. This door doesn't want to open. Yeah, looks like it's got a pretty hefty lock on it. There's a specialist locksmith on his way over from the yard, so hands off till he gets here. With permission, Inspector, I could have that lock open in less than a minute. Well, you don't have permission. And no one's giving it to you. Aw, Gregson, you made him sad, you dick. Gregson looked as though he really enjoyed that.
Well, there's no sound of anybody on the other side.
No, Drebber must have fled at the first sign of danger. Alright, anything up here? No. Working just my way around counterclockwise. What on earth is this?
An aeroplane, Mr. Naruhodo. One day, scientists believe it will allow humans to fly freely in the skies.
Doubt it. seems fake. Is that how the trick will be described, is it?
Sorry?
Well, it's actually suspended by a thin but very strong cable, isn't it?
Oh, well, this model is, yes, but a real airplane would actually fly high in the sky.
While suspended from somewhere even higher in the sky, of course. Because large metal objects obviously can't really stay in midair unsupported.
So to you, the solution is ever taller towers?
I love him.
Ah, this appears to be a most interesting. Yes, most interesting indeed, wouldn't you say?
It's an impressive looking back massager, that's for sure. I've no doubt that if you hit your shoulders a few times with that, your aches and pains would soon go away.
My poor boy doesn't know what a trophy is.
Oh! It's a Royal Society trophy for excellence in science. A young scientist could wish for no higher honor. Ah. Would you like a massage? No, I'm fine, thank you. I had no idea it was such a grand thing.
I think it's becoming increasingly clear that there's much more to this Mr. Enoch Drebber than conjuring tricks.
I couldn't agree more, my dear madam. And how about you, Mr. Naruhodo? Wouldn't you like to take it with you? For your tired shoulders, of course. He's not gonna let that go, is he?
It's curious, though, isn't it? You would expect such an important trophy to be proudly on display somewhere, not haphazardly cast aside. English gentlemen can be quite a mystery at times.
Just stick it in your pocket. Ghosts!
Oh.
Is something wrong, Mrs. Otto?
Well, I thought I heard a noise from the far side of that door. Well, Gina? Did you hear it too?
Yeah, I heard it and all. What do you reckon, Toby?
Toby!
Right, mind the grease. Whoever's in there, open up. This is Scotland Yard. Get him! He's escaping! The killer is escaping!
Oh, someone is in there!
Ah, this rotten bleeding lock. My dear Gregson, as I said only minutes ago, if only it were countenanced, I could unlock that door in less than a minute. Just let him do it, Gregson. Fine, I'll take the rap for it. Just get us through that blasted door. There, you may enter at will. God damn, that was fast, Sholmes. You've confused minutes with seconds, I think. Time is of the essence, I feel. What are we waiting for? Nothing forward, I suppose. This is an emergency. There's a strong possibility that beyond that door is the engineer you all seek. Be prepared for action, my dear fellow. Yes. Let's fucking go! That's a fucking dynamite! That's a fucking dynamite! What happened in here? Why is everything upside down?
Rats, ain't no one in here after all. But there must be. It was only moments ago that we heard those noises.
Maybe that was the sound of Drebber running away.
But there's only one door into this room.
Trapdoor, secret trapdoor somewhere. And no windows that could afford an escape route. There are footprints on the ceiling. Was he experimenting with an anti-gravity device? Okay! And no windows that afford an escape route. The skylights are too high. And yet there's fucking footprints up there. What's that up there? Are they footprints on the ceiling? Blow me! No thank you. What have we here then? Looks like someone was trying to burn something in a hurry.
Oh, that looks like a set of blueprints.
To what? To that Professor Hairbrain's balmy machine, is it? Blimey, if we'd had those, there'd have been no need to muck about trying to investigate all that scrap metal. There is something of great interest here, too. Is no one going to acknowledge the dynamite in the room? This rope was lying on the floor at the foot of that pillar. A rope? What's significant about that? Never mind. You see, but you do not observe, Mr. Naruhodo.
We must investigate the entire room thoroughly, and before the investigation team arrive, too.
He made a pact with Kazuma? Okay, I love that, actually. Hexblade Warlock. Holy shit. Mr. Sholmes, have you found something? Ah, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes, in point of fact, something rather fascinating. What do you make of this? The fucking bomb! Do something with it! Let's see. I've never seen anything like it before. Looks like a bundle of thick cigars wrapped up in a large... Yeah! Miss Susato, what's the matter?
That's a... Surely that's a time bomb, isn't it?
What? Did you say...
A time bomb?
Sorry, but... What is a time bomb, exactly? It... You truly are one of a kind, Mr. Naruhodo. I won't take that as a compliment.
Ha! You don't know nothing, do you, Otto?
You haven't got a clue what it is either, have you, Gina? I invite you to consult a dictionary later, Mr. Naruhodo. But this particular specimen is no time bomb, though I confess it is a very similar appearance.
Oh, well, thank goodness. But then, what is it?
I see. So that's it.
Goodness, Mr. Sholmes,
Have you seen to the heart of the matter? There are times when I consider my lot most unfair. For I'm fated never to know how it feels to flounder as you do when a puzzle presents itself. Oi. But I have learned to accept the hardships that come with being a great detective, Miss Susato. Here we go. I feel a great deduction coming. Ooh. Once again, I can draw two conclusions from the scene we see before us. The first is that the inverted nature of the furniture in this room is the work of Drebber himself.
Oh, but how could you...
And the second conclusion is that the small device on the floor there is, without question, completely genuine.
Please, Mr. Sholmes, you must explain everything.
It's time for a dance of deduction. It would be a pleasure. After all, it is a great detective's civic duty to teach Scotland Yard the finer points of the trade. Get wrecked, Gregson. Oh, hang on, you guys look at Gregson. Well, Inspector Gregson seemed delighted with the idea anyway. Good, then we should do it.
Oh, you deflected the inspector's glare with such fortitude there, Mr. Sholmes. Well done.
You're too kind, my dear madam. I hereby dedicate this great deduction to you. Kindly just stand there, Miss Susato. Or stand just there.
Oh, yes, I'd be delighted.
So, shall we begin? Once again, Herlock Sholmes is proud to present his Logic and Reasoning Spectacular. Da-da-da-da-da! I'm so excited for more of this stupid man. Hang on, I'll have a sip first. It's plain to see that this room is in complete disarray. Bed, the table and the chairs, the lamp, everything is upside down. Almost as if every item in the room had, until recently, been happily positioned on the ceiling, before falling straight down onto the floor. Every item in the room was on the ceiling? Are you suggesting that... Indeed, the key here is gravity. It would appear that technology has at last succeeded in freeing us from the great pull of the Earth. She's so cute. Look at her.
Well, the gravity in this room was reversed and then suddenly restored to normality.
Goodness!
The inverted furniture clearly reveals the truth about the part gravity played in this whole mess. I quite understand your skepticism, Miss Susanoo. I too was incredulous at first. However, my conviction in my analysis was cemented when I observed this. An anti-gravity device, almost identical to the one featured in a dream of mine only the other day, in fact.
But then why does it have a clock on it?
I want to see if it'll keep rising. Yep, it's still going. It's still going. It's still going. Oh, it's slowing to a stop, though. When's it gonna stop? It's gonna stop. Okay.
Most relevant question indeed. That is a timing device that controls when the gravity direction will switch. There's clearly a requirement for the engineer to be able to restore normal gravity automatically.
Oh yeah, the table's going up a little bit too.
And the commotion we heard earlier from the other side of the door was the moment that restoration occurred. Yes, the reason why everything in here has been turned upside down is because of the anti-gravity device. So you see, we need look no further to explain the state in which we now find this room. The direction in which gravity acts in here was reversed by Mr. Drebber, before being restored to normality in an automatic fashion sometime later by the timer device. I have witnessed precisely this scene in a dream I once had when I fell out of bed.
Stupid man. I love he. I want to see my stupid mans. Here he comes.
Now, let us consider the next conundrum. What was our engineer friend's aim? Indubitably, the greatest clue we have to explain his actions is above our heads.
Yes, how is it possible that there are footprints all the way up there on the ceiling?
A question whose answer would lead us neatly to the truth, my dear madam. The reason there are footprints on the ceiling is because of the nearby skylight. Of course, Drebber's aim was singular, to escape. However, there's but one way into this room, excepting the skylight, that is. Ah. By inverting the gravity in here, Drebber was able to fall conveniently to the ceiling and make his escape via the otherwise inaccessible skylight, leaving those footprints behind on the way.
But the ceiling in here is very high, Mr. Sholmes. If the gravity reversal was sudden, wouldn't Mr. Drebber have fallen up to the ceiling rather violently?
Falling up is both scientifically and philosophically a rather interesting concept, I feel. But the man was cornered with nowhere to run, so escape through the skylight was his only option. You may recall that I found this in the room earlier, which I believe offers a solution.
Oh, the rope.
To reach the intended destination, what better tool than this rope? By anchoring one end to the wall, the man was able to lower himself safely to the ceiling. Which explains how Drebber was able to escape with this room before our arrival. He reversed the pull of gravity and fled via the skylight. And personally, I should very much like to reverse the pull of gravity again now. Just for fun. Of course I would.
This is a man who pulled a fire alarm on a boat. It wasn't a fire alarm, but it was some kind of alarm. Just for funsies, you see.
Thus concludes Sherlock Sholmes' great deduction of this topsy-turvy puzzle.
I'm sure it does, bud. Greg, what's up, Gregathy?
She's completely spellbound. Mr. Sholmes, there is just one thing that troubles me. I would expect nothing less. You're destined to be troubled by just one thing for the rest of your life. The thing is such a thing actually possible? An anti-gravity device, I mean. I would say that with man's current scientific knowledge at the turn of the 20th century, it's no more possible than instantaneous kinesis. But your whole deduction hinges on it. Ah, but my dear fellow, when you have eliminated the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth, however improbable it may seem. It's a marvelous line, wouldn't you agree? One of my more enduring pearls of wisdom. I had Iris come up with the exact phrasing. My original was clumsy. Yes, I have a feeling I've read it in something that Miss Usato lent me once.
Objection.
Aw, baby girl, she gets an objection too. Actually, there is one other thing, Mr. Sholmes. Ah, the spell's broken at last. The robe you found was on the floor, wasn't it? Indeed it was, in lonely coils near the wall. But if Mr. Drebber had used it to escape in the way that you described, wouldn't it still be tied to the wall? Stupid. Mysteries inevitably unravel in the end, as I think you'll find do ropes. And as evidence of such, you need only look at the mystery we faced in this room, now skillfully unraveled. I forget how the actual rest of the song goes. That argument is as circular as the coils of rope. I think perhaps we might need to give Mr. Sholmes the usual little helping hand. I'm sure with some minor corrections, the Great Detective's great deduction will lead us to the truth. Yes, you're right. And we must do it quickly before Enoch Drebber gets too far away. We're wasting time here, man! If you're ready, then let us resume. Sherlock Sholmes' logic and reasoning spectacular. Take 2. How did he manage before us? Iris, maybe? Well, I guess he had Iris's dad for a while. Okay. Everything is upside down. Or falling on the floor. It is gravity. This effect looks like... This shot is so cool. I love it. Like that whole bit of him like walking dramatically, that's staged so cool. I think gravity could have been reversed in this very room. I find the whole idea utterly enthralling. Only Mr. Sholmes could conceive of such an explanation. But the man himself admitted it was a scientific impossibility, so... Yes, you're quite right. We must completely discount the idea at once. Oh, that's unusually merciless of you, Miss Usato. When you have eliminated the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth. The great detective himself said so, didn't he? While refusing to part with his dreams of an anti-gravity devices. Yes, I suppose so. Well, let's see if examining this topsy-turvy scene a little more closely reveals some proof that shows exactly what gravity in this room was or wasn't doing. Well, well, I wasn't expecting to find a pretty bunch of flowers in here, that's for sure. Oh, look at that! I know, this slender little vase looks like it's about to topple at any moment, but the flowers are thriving. Somehow it makes you think of the fragility of life, wouldn't you say? To be honest, Mr. Naruhodo, something else about it made a rather deeper impression on me. Okay, so it could be that, but I want to look at this safe first. Ah, look, Miss Usato! When everything seems to be upside down in here, this safe is conspicuously the right way up. Have you noticed? Yes, that's true. But look more closely at the safe's feet. Ah, that's a lot of very large bolts fixing it to the floor. Think before you speak. That's what you wanted to say, isn't it? I really put my foot in my mouth there. I certainly didn't say that. I feel like it has to be... There we go. We got it. Yeah, the vase would be broken, but it's odd. The upright vase clearly reveals the truth about the part gravity played in this whole business. Upon my word, Mr. Naruhodo, you surpassed yourself by completely turning my argument on its head. Trying to impress your assistant there, perhaps? No one is trying to steal your spotlight here, Mr. Sholmes, trust me. As you rightly say, though it appears at first glance that all the furniture in the room is upside down, this unassuming slender vase is standing keenly to attention. And unlike the large safe, there's nothing affixing it to the floor. And it's the exception that breaks the rule. In short, much as it pains me, the gravity in this room was never inverted at all. My deepest sympathies for your loss. Oh, poor Mr. Sholmes. But the show must go on, so let us continue with our deductions. And now that we know this contrivance is not in fact an anti-gravity device, there remains but one other possibility. You don't say. Someone deliberately turned over every piece of furniture in here. Which might sound obvious, but it leaves one mystery very much unsolved. Namely, why would anyone choose to do that? Quite. And naturally, there is an explanation. Yes, the reason why everything here has been turned upside down is because of the anti-gravity device. He is absolutely determined that this device must have something to do with it, isn't he? I'm afraid the lure of exciting scientific explanation is too strong. Well, there's no doubt that somebody did this. Somebody turned all the furniture over. So whoever it was must have had a reason. I'm afraid nothing comes to mind at all, though. Well, let's look around and see if the answer presents itself. Ooh, there she blows!
Take that!
Yes, the reason why everything in here has been turned upside down is because of the safe combination. Precisely. I believe, Mr. Naruhodo, that you had a very similar experience once, did you not? Yes, last year. When I bought a lottery ticket and noted the ticket number down on the inside cover of a book just in case. That's it. Well, people are forgetful souls at heart and always make written note of important information. Just keeping the ticket itself safe would be more sensible, I think. And what, pray, happened next, Mr. Naruhodo? When the day of the draw came around, I'd forgotten which book I'd written the number in and had to turn my room upside down to find it. That's it! But people are forgetful souls at heart and always forget where they've noted things down. Not if you always note things in the same place. I actually won the second prize, you know. But I couldn't remember which magazine I'd slipped the ticket into, so I had to Thank you, Mr. Naruhodo, but I believe I proved my point now. They're both stupid! Look at him go. Look at his fucking face. He's like, you turned my spotlight off. I was still using that. I was in the middle of something, Sholmes. You stole my spotlight, literally. God, he's precious. Which is that a very similar scenario has it clearly unfolded in this room. Finding himself requiring access to the safe, the occupant of this room needed the combination code. You remember that he'd written it down on the underside of a piece of furniture, but forgot which one. They are both disasters, I love them. Leading to the state in which we now find the room. Yes, Mr. Drebber overturned all the furniture in here, in a desperate hurry to locate the combination code that would unlock the safe. Let's fucking go. The next conundrum. What was our engineer friend's aim? Yeah, so we have to... They're very good dumb boys. I love them. How is it possible that there are footprints all the way up there on the ceiling? How ceiling footprints? The reason there are footprints on the ceiling is because of the nearby skylight. Well, if a change in the direction of gravity can't explain it, then how did those footprints get up there? Yes, I feel as though that particular mystery has just become even harder to solve. I can't think of any other way to explain it at all. Oh, life was so much simpler in those halcyon days when gravity could be reversed. Is Phoenix right also this dumb? Yeah, he's got his good and bad days. It was minutes ago, and those halcyon days never existed in the first place. Well, I suppose we must simply put our faith in Mr. Sholmes and observe the area in more detail. Putting our faith in Mr. Sholmes is what gets us into these situations in the first place.
The fuck? The fuck? The fuck? The fuck is with this shit? The fuck? It's hard to believe, but there's a shoe up there, look.
Oh, yes, and there are more footprints on this little balloon, too. Perhaps a shoe was thrown up there and became lodged, do you think?
If so, then judging from the number of footprints, it must have been thrown up several times. Why would anyone be throwing shoes up at the ceiling, though?
Oh dear, that's beyond me, I'm afraid.
This is a gas balloon, isn't it? It's tiny, but it does seem to be a real balloon.
Yes, I think you're right.
Maybe the balloon got stuck up there? And he was trying to get it down? Green gas balloon. Why does that seem to ring a bell with me?
If you can see, there are footprints on this balloon too, look.
Oh, yes. Surely that's a clue, isn't it? Though what it tells us, I'm not sure. Yeah, it's a green balloon like the one used in the crime! We already investigated the balloon. Looks like these are the only windows in the room. In other words, if you wanted to escape without using the door, these skylights would be the only way.
Yes, that's true. But even so...
And right next to the only escape route, we noticed some telltale footprints.
Nevertheless, as we said many times now, gravity can't explain how they got there.
The powerful springs in the soles of man's shoes could. Ryunosuke!
Have you been having strange dreams as well, like Mr. Sholmes?
I guess it's the shoe?
Take that!
Yeah. Someone's throwing shoes at the ceiling. The reason there are footprints on the ceiling is because of the nearby shoe. And on closer inspection, there are clearly footprints all over the balloon as well. In other words, the aim was never the skylight at all, but the balloon. But for what purpose? A green balloon. That seems somewhat familiar data.
Ah! It was a piece of the green balloon's envelope that Mr. Naruhodo and Iris found at the scene.
And inside the green balloon that Mr. Gotts claims he saw above the stage when the incident occurred was the second bird cage, the crux of the whole instantaneous kinesis deception.
You mean to say...
If we assume the balloon in here is a model of the one used on the day, there's a strong possibility something may be concealed inside it. Something our absconder was desperate to retrieve before making a hasty getaway. But the balloon's out of reach. Hence why he resorted to a projectile, namely the shoe. Most probably, Drebber intended to tear a hole in the envelope by assailing it with the shoe. However, his efforts were thwarted when the shoe itself became a prisoner of those lofty heights.
Oh dear, we desperately need to examine that balloon. If only there was some way we could see inside.
You may recall that I found this in the room earlier, which I believe offers a solution.
Oh, the rope.
To reach the intended destination, what better tool than this rope?
Mr. Sholmes has managed to bring the deduction back to the rope.
Alright, I have to admit, that was clever. So we just throw the rope up to the balloon and then pull it down on us to the ground? To us on the ground?
Which is easier said than done, I feel. And could take us a very long time as well.
True. Perhaps we need a more surefire method. In fact, we already have one, of course, don't we? Yeah. Shoot it down, baby! To reach the intended destination, what better tool than this crossbow?
That was found at the scene, in fact.
And in all likelihood belongs to Mr. Drebber.
Man had only brought it away with him that day.
He could have avoided losing a shoe at such a critical time as this. Alright, let's play Bang Bang Shooter game. So, shall we? Curiosity is deeply stirred, no doubt, my dear fellows. As is what that Enoch Drebber has hidden inside the balloon. The head of the statue? What the? A waxwork?
Indeed it is. A waxwork head inside a metal mask. A mask that is shut tight and fastened with a strong and quite impenetrable lock. So we can't see the face inside, that means. God damn it! Show me the face! Just a moment. This is the head of a waxwork model. Does that mean... Oh, goodness! I see you've joined the dots, Miss Usato. Excellent. Of course, a headless waxwork model. The case of the abducted Madame Tuspel's model that you'd largely solved, it was only the head of the killer that was still missing. Indeed it was. But I believe Madame Tuspel's will now have to settle her sizable account with me. This, as you have now surmised, is the head of the infamous professor. Yes. But why is it here? It conclusively confirms my suspicions. The man responsible for stealing the professor from Madame Tuspel's and returning it, sans tete, I don't know how to say that word, I'm sorry, was none other than Enoch Drebber. I told you guys, I called that shit an hour into the trial. I called it like 5 hours of gameplay ago. Praise me, chat! Praise the indomitable brain that is in my skull. I'm a fucking genius. Praise me! Oh wait, I'll do you one better. And returning it earlier today was none other than Enoch Drebber. There, I did it. This is incredible. Professor Harebrain's case and the waxwork abduction they're inextricably linked by Enoch Drebber's workshop. I'd love to, but it's full of... Hey! 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 Oi! Well, it appears our logical pleasure cruise has come to an end, my dear fellows. All that remains is, yes, to speak with the architect of this adventure. The architect? You mean Mr. Drebber? As it seems quite impossible that he escaped via one of the skylights, obviously the man must still be here in the room. What? And his location should be abundantly clear. If you simply reflect on the journey we've made together during this deduction, Enoch Drebber is right here, somewhere in this room. Did the man lock himself in the safe? That's a good way to fucking die. So, Mr. Naruhodo, will you do the honors? Yes, of course. Mr. Drebber's hiding place must be... either the wardrobe or the safe, but I don't think he'd hide himself in the safe, would he?
Take that!
Nope. Okay, I wanted to think that maybe he wouldn't hide himself in the safe, because that just seems very dangerous. Not there, Mr. Naruhodo. But I don't understand. You can always climb inside yourself. Please, don't mind us. Go ahead. I know how fond you are of wardrobes. I'll think of something else, thank you very much. Oh no! Okay, I didn't want to think he was inside the safe, I was hopeful. Where could Mr. Drebber be hiding? I'm sure that we've already come across... Yeah, I know. If he's not in the wardrobe, he's in the safe, but I wanted to think maybe a guy wouldn't hide inside the fucking safe. It's a good way to fucking die. Look at all that mess in front of the safe. Yes, plans and accounting ledgers. Almost as if somebody would have hurried to empty the contents of the safe, in fact. Ooh.
Take that!
He was trying to get out. Okay, yeah, makes sense, I guess. Before we gained access to this back room, we heard noises from in here. Which tells us that the engineer was still inside the building at that point in time. He was in fact searching for the combination to his safe. And pressed for time, made no attempt to right the furniture that he overturned in the process. From which we can deduce that his search for the combination happened very recently indeed. You thought Drebber was in the closet? I didn't want him to be in the safe because that seems dumb. Like, I figured, yeah, he's probably in the safe, but they're also giving me the option to look at the wardrobe, so I'm gonna look at the wardrobe first. And he wasn't in the wardrobe, I was like, okay, fine, he must be in the safe. But that's how freaking one of the characters dies in The Good Place, because it's a stupid thing to do. In summary, Mr. Enoch Drebber I don't know, I thought he was a smart guy. Smart enough to not lock himself in a fucking safe with the password clearly visible! Thus concludes Herlock Sholmes' great deduction of this topsy-turvy puzzle. So cute. His head's full of rocks. And he's lied to us about our dead friend. But I still love him, goddammit. Him and the many rocks that he keeps in his empty cranium. Elementary. So, Mr. Naruhodo, I think perhaps it's time we ended this game of hide-and-seek, don't you? By opening the safe, you mean? What else? Let's see. The combination was 1432582. I knew that! Alright then, here goes. What's up, buddy? Oh, he needs a voice now. You found me. Tuck and roll, my guy! Oh, he's weird. Okay, break it down, bud! Alright! Cool dance! You on America's Got Talent? Or, I guess, Britain's Got Talent? Right then, sir. Mr. Enoch Drebber, I presume? Correct. You better start talking. You tricked Professor Harebrain with that bogus machine you built. There's some jams.
And you still have to explain the theft of the waxwork from Madame Tuspel's as well.
Oh, you know what? No, I feel like I need to give him, like, the closest thing I can do to a robot voice. Whilst I would be delighted to answer your many questions... Oh, he's weird. Personally, I would advise that you would deactivate my little parcel first. Deactivate?
Your parcel?
I refer, of course, to the time bomb. I left it in a most prominent position. Ha ha ha, I see. Stunned silence. You're all gearing up to die with me, then.
No!
Oh shit.
Mr. Sholmes! With only 7 seconds to spare!
That was far too close for comfort. I've got one foot in the grave already. You trying to help us get a killer or get us killed?
Mr. Sholmes' deductions can be completely life-altering, can't they?
Well, my dear fellows, that was a close shave. The resemblance to an anti-gravity device is really quite startling, I must say. Sholmes, your stupid ass.
Anti-gravity devices don't exist.
Whew, I wouldn't push it, Mr. Sholmes. Look at this fucking weirdo! He's fun! What on earth happened in here? You found me, haven't you? No need to screw me down any further. Stop! My god, everyone in this game today! With the diddling and the screwing! Stop! Everything in here is precisely what it seems. Yeah, well, we'll be giving it a thorough go-over, don't you worry, Drebber. What fails to click with me is how you were able to locate my workshop that I was not expecting. When I heard whistling from the other room, I knew it was time to bolt.
Whistling?
That would have been me.
Oh!
For some reason, I woke in fine fettle today. Dumbass. No words, just tightly squeezed chips. Clearly I must have a screw loose, though, as I couldn't remember the combination for the safe. And another one loose, as I couldn't remember on which piece of furniture I'd written it down. We also found a rope over by the wall. Yes, I had hoped to exit through the skylight, but sadly the rope was too short. So, I then set about searching for the combination code to the safe. And burning the incriminating blueprints, don't forget. Regrettably, though, you failed to retrieve the head from the balloon among the rafters. And after that, you hid yourself inside the safe? Having first said this parcel taking. Well, I had no intention of being nailed by the police. His hand's just like twitchy twitchy. Got a death wish, have ya? Hide right beside a ticking time bomb. Please, why do you suppose I chose to hide inside the safe? It's no ordinary safe, it's specially designed. A dynamite explosion wouldn't leave a scratch on it. So in fact, the safe was the only safe place. Precisely.
But once you'd climbed inside, you wouldn't have been able to get out again.
I invite you to look more closely. The safe is fitted with a handle on the inside to allow the door to be unlocked from within. Well, I guess he's got that going for him. Ah, so it is. I had always intended to blow this place to smithereens in any case. I just wasn't expecting uninvited guests to come along and screw up my plans. Do you mean to say you plan to blow us all up? No, that was unforeseen. What do you mean? Most people run, you see, when they see a ticking time bomb at their feet. Ah. I calculated the time required for retreat to a safe distance and set the device accordingly. But your seemingly endless discourse in here threw a spanner in the works. He's doing his little robot dance, you guys. Is something wrong, Gregson? Do I have something on my face, besides the usual eyes, ears, nose, and mouth? I think we have a fairly good idea of what's been going on here now. But what about the two incidents he's evidently been involved in recently? Professor Hairbrain's instantaneous kinesis experiment at the Great Exhibition. And the waxwork model you stole, which this head belongs to. That's no ordinary head, you know. That's the head of the professor. Clad in a mask with a lock so strong, I'm unable to open it safely to reveal the killer's identity. I've been considering carrying it around as protection. After all, that's enough!
Ooh, hello, Mummy. What's going on here, Gregson? I'm sure you're aware that I have sole jurisdiction to investigate here.
Yes, well. Dr. Scythe again, so the forensic investigation team are here.
As you know full well, this engineer is a key witness. Why are you allowing this lawyer access to him? If Lord Strongheart knew of this, you'd be finished. You lot, leave at once.
My dear madam, there's no need for such a threatening tone, I assure you. After all, there's no way to greet an old acquaintance, is it, Dr. Scythe?
Hello,
Sholmes. Ooh, there's some history there. Mr. Sholmes knows Dr. Scythe? If it's protecting the machine against the door, the next door that's causing such a sour expression on your face, you are quite misguided. It's really nothing more than a shell. You get out. But of course, we'll show our shelves the door. I see you haven't softened at all. Mr. Naruhodo? Yes? It would appear that our delightfully entertaining investigations have run their course for today. But Mr. Sholmes? Let us leave this place in the doctor's capable hands. I said get out, now, all of you. Your presence here is not required either, Gregson. Yeah, get out, Gregson. Understood. But I'll just say one thing before I head off. Head off. If it wasn't for this lawyer and his companions, we'd never have found this place. And the whole workshop would have been blown to bits. There's a time bomb set in here. This lot disarmed. Inspector. Something giving you a chuckle, has it? Drebber? Mr. Robot Fuck? Ah, so sorry. Didn't mean to offend. You're quite right, of course. You did disarm the time bomb, didn't you? Yes, you did disarm that one.
What are you... That one?
You mean... Oh, fuck. Oh, no! Oh, fuck! Oh, shit damn. It was an hour later that we heard the news of the enormous explosion that ripped through the experimentation stage at the Great Exhibition. Professor Harebrain's invention and all its secrets were blown away forever. Holy shit. Well! Go out with a bang, I guess. Save your current progress. Yeah. All right, we got about 20 minutes left, but since it's a Friday, my brother's probably going to be working late. I'll say we can probably stretch it to 8:30, which means we got an hour left to get as far into this court case as we can. Because I would love to finish this case tomorrow. Don't bonk me, I'm right. Let me have my joke. Good morning to you, Mr. Naruhodo. Good morning, Professor. Ready for today's proceedings? I hope so. I should be. Even I, with nothing left to... Good morning, my dear fellows! Hi, Sholmes! Oh, Mr. Sholmes, you're here. Why, naturally, a true gentleman stands shoulder to shoulder with his friends in battle at all times. So you're not a true friend then because you're barely here. Thank you, I really appreciate it. I'll see you later then. Now, Professor, we really need you to remain calm in the courtroom today.
Yes, do try your hardest not to enter the witness stand uninvited again.
Yes, I will. I realize it was a mistake, but My dear fellows, I must interject. Oh, you made him upset. Oh, you're still here, Mr. Sholmes? What's the matter? Surely you've overlooked some praise, have you not? To be cast in my direction, Sorry? I don't follow. Must I spell it out? I, the great Herlock Sholmes, the greatest detective of worldwide acclamation, arose at some ungodly hour to be here now, first thing in the morning. A miracle, you must agree. Well, if I must agree, then... As you know, my sleep is quite impregnable. Iris had to employ her full gamut of tactics. She pulled the covers off, shook me, poked both cheeks, punched me, and kicked me from the bed. Then she poured a boiling cup of her latest experimental blend on my face, and at last I was bestirred. Holy shit.
Oh my, Iris has been busy.
Iris doesn't have it in her to go that far. She's too nice. Ah, I sense the spirit of a fellow scientist, one who relishes the infinite possibilities of blending tea. I'm the one worthy of praise here, not Iris. This is my victory. Sholmes. Sorry to cut in. Who's this? Oh, fuck you, Gregson. I was hoping that maybe it was Hot Boy coming to say hi before the trial, not you. Oh, Inspector Gregson, good morning. Gregson, my dear fellow, why the grim expression at this delightfully early hour? Oh, I don't know. Maybe because I've been confronted with a grimmer expression, eh? Dear me, you want to take that insult lying down, Professor? What? I don't know! The poor Professor. Anyway, here's the paperwork you asked for. What paperwork? Ah, I took the liberty of requesting it yesterday. I have a feeling it may prove useful. You wouldn't believe the hoops I had to jump through to get this brought out of the archives. It's the professor's autopsy report. That mass murderers? Who killed 5 members of the aristocracy. He was found guilty in a closed trial 10 years ago now. It was all done under wraps. And he was quickly executed soon after the trial. It's all in here. Huh. Okay. I don't know what to say. Thank you, Inspector. Yes, much obliged, Gregson. Us slowly lord of the yard are just doing what we can. The shadow of the great Detective Sholmes, of course. Maybe you should stay there, you dick. Well then, Professor Hairbrain, this is it. Today we're gonna lay all this to rest at last.
I wish you the best of luck, Professor.
I suppose he'll be in there today, will he? Drebber.
Yes, we expect the prosecution to summon him as a witness.
I'm still amazed that you managed to find him in just one day.
I really owe you both so much.
Counsel and the defendant. The trial is about to resume. Kindly make your way to the courtroom at once. Let's fucking go! This is it then, the final chapter.
The final chapter of this court case. 'Cause there's 2 more left. I'm assuming. I haven't checked the number of cases in this game. There could be less than 5, but it's probably 5.
Funny, my heart's racing a little. I've not felt this before, actually. This strange foreboding. As if something's gonna happen in this trial that I'm not ready for. Like Kazuma fucking showing up? But I can't let that distract me from the only thing that really matters. Finding the truth. Like a certain Birdman Robin appearing and taking his mask off and being like, hello, Miyamo Kazuma. God. Talk about a courtroom drama, am I right? Oh, yeah, there's Birdman! Still in the fucking mask and outfit, good lord. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session again. I'm to take a sip of my water. All doing all the voices is hot on my throat. Okay. We resume the public hearing of Albert Hairbrain, here present, who stands accused of murder. I got jealous of you having an assistant, so I've got one here too now. That's not his voice. Pretend like that was his voice. Are the counsels for the prosecution and defense ready to proceed? He's so short! Or Van Zoinks is just really tall. The prosecution is ready, my lord. The defense is ready, my lord. As promised, Lord Van Zeeks has his apprentice with him. His apprentice with memory loss. Oh, Susato. If I may, Lord Van Zeeks. Yes, my lord? 6 feet. Holy shit! Tall hot boy! There appears to be someone standing at your side. Ah, yes, my apprentice and assistant. The prosecution believes today's proceedings will see the complexity of this case rise considerably. Holy shit! What did I just see? Oh my god! That's the most extra shit I have ever seen! Oh my god! God, I hope we get that idle animation every time. That's fucking incredible. I therefore instructed my assistant to attend to to ensure the smooth running of the trial and smooth opening of all my fucking wine bottles because I'm going to get so wasted during this trial. And the smooth running of liquid refreshments by the look of it. The way he holds himself, the way he moves. Couldn't be anyone else. But he's still suffering from amnesia, so there's really nothing we can do at the moment. I was actually, when I went and took my dog out earlier, I was actually thinking, this is almost sadder than him, like, betraying us and being a total dick. Because that means he doesn't remember us at all. And he was gonna propose! Ah! Kazuma. My boyfriend! That's my fucking boyfriend! We have to get his memories back. Maybe if we bonk him hard enough on the head with one of those wine glasses, it'll bring his memory back.
I know, but
The fuck? Oh, Molly, you scared the ever-loving shit out of me just now, cat. She just moved from her hiding spot, and it sounded like there was someone tapping on the window right next to me. We're on the second floor!
I know, but this is so very hard.
Yeah, we have to give him his sword back. Be like, your soul's in this magic sword that captured all your memories, and we just have to give it back, and then he'll touch it, and he'll get all his memories back. I'm enjoying a joke to myself. Anyway, it would appear the prosecution has done a fine job in responding to the demands of the court made yesterday. I understand you have successfully secured the engineer who disappeared from the scene on the day in question. I know. I would love it if we finished this trial tomorrow, because I really want to see where this shit goes. Yes, my lord. I intend to call him as a witness shortly. Very good, very good. Now then, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, who have been chosen at random to represent the will of the people in this courtroom today, are you ready and willing to proceed? Of course, my lord. I'm sure we all understand the importance of doing our civic duty.
I do so despise deception and deceit. I find it also very wearing.
Obscure reference made. No, I was not referencing whatever that was. This is a secret reference. A secret star-only reference that we can all look back on eventually and laugh. Anyway, Ace Attorney! To make a man's life with a conjuring trick, it is against the munitions code, not to mention the law. Any fake scientist should feel the wrath of God, if you ask me.
We have to listen to what's said on both sides of the fence and, settle on one. That's it, isn't it?
Wasn't like this in my day. Wasn't like this at all. If all parties are ready to proceed, you may begin, Lord Van Zieks. Before I do, my lord, there is a report I must read to the court. Yesterday at the Great Exhibition Grounds, the evidence of primary importance in this case. The super high-voltage instantaneous kinesis machine, which was installed on the experimentation stage, was deliberately destroyed in an explosion affected by an unknown person or persons. It was... what? An explosion? This is an outrage!
Molly, what the fuck are you doing?
Oh, weirdo. Yes, I heard this grave news yesterday. Scotland Yard submitted a report to my office this morning. I read that the machine was blasted to smithers and the wreckage reduced to ashes in the flames. I have here a photographic print of the scene taken in the wake of the explosion. It shows what little remains of the machine. Oh, but it shows there is in fact a trapdoor. That's very intriguing. Yes, a terrible business. He did it to destroy the evidence, did he? That Enoch Drebber. The court will take this print as evidence, counsel. Molly, the chat says hi. She doesn't care. She's up over there tearing up a box. Late yesterday afternoon... that's not your voice. The protection afforded to the machine by the Special Dispensation for Scientific Equipment Act was revoked. However, before a thorough investigation could begin, the invention was obliterated from existence. As such, this will become a very different trial. Yeah. She's having the time of her life over there. Oi! You're making a bit of noise over there, Kit Kat Bar. What are you doing? Sheesh. As it stands now, with no evidence on which to draw meaningful conclusions, the authenticity of the kinesis machine will remain forever in obscurity. Indeed. A most unfortunate state of affairs. However, one thing remains clear. The victim's death was the result of the actions of the accused. Of that we can be certain. But it was the accused himself who was operating the machine and who ultimately caused its loss of control.
Objection!
As Lord Van Zeeks rightly says, this is a very different trial now. Yeah, get him. The accused accepts responsibility for his part in the events that transpired. He acknowledges that Mr. Assman died as a result of the accident caused by this machine's malfunction. However, unbeknownst to the professor, he was being deliberately deceived by a pair of very clever fraudsters. Names, counsel, if you please? The engineer, Mr. Enoch Drebber, and the victim himself, Mr. Odie Assman. So what exactly were these two men up to behind the defendant's back? The defense intends to expose that information, thus establishing the unequivocal innocence of the defendant. Yeah, get him. Have confidence, my son. Thank you, counsels. The positions of the prosecution and defense have been clearly stated. Lord Van Zeeks, summon your first witness, please. I feel like this feels like it's going to be fairly neat and tidy. Like, there's a lot of evidence that points toward Drebber here. At once, my lord. The prosecution calls the engineer, Mr. Enoch Drebber, to the stand. But it's his attorney. It's not going to be neat and tidy ever. Nothing ever is. You're jinxing it. It was jinxed before I said anything. My boyfriend is such a confident lawyer now. I'm so proud of him. What's up, Roboman? State your name and occupation for the court. Name, Enoch Drebber. Occupation, robot. Hard to pin down, I would say. See that black monocle? Yes, well, I do feel as though I've seen it somewhere before. Oh, you too? I had exactly the same feeling. I'm a bit of a celebrity. Your file indicates that you are currently being investigated in connection with another case. The theft of a waxwork model, is it? The most extraordinary sounding business. But that has no bearing on this trial, I assure you. Leave it from your mind. You're familiar with the public experiment carried out at the Great Exhibition some days ago? The accused super high voltage instantaneous kinesis demonstration. Yes, you could say that. I am aware of it. There was a terrible accident, wasn't there? It was you, Mr. Drebber, who constructed the vast machine used in the experiment. Or so our investigations indicate. Can you confirm your involvement? Yes, I constructed it, in precise accordance with the blueprints, but that's all. Then the court would be very interested to hear your thoughts about the machine, I'm sure. An amazing device, if you ask me. The pinnacle of modern science, making instantaneous kinesis a reality at last. What? Good gracious, do you mean to say that the experiment was bona fide? Is that your belief, sir? Yes, that is very much my belief. Such a waste that it blew up.
Objection!
But we've already established the machine was nothing more than a prop for an elaborate conjuring trick. You've established nothing of the sort. All that was shown during yesterday's proceedings is that the same outcome could have been produced by means of staged trickery. The defense merely proposed a method and demonstrated its feasibility, nothing more. But... We procrastinated long enough, I feel. Witness, you will now give your formal testimony about the machine that you constructed for the purpose of the demonstration at the Great Exhibition. Understood. Man, all this talking's making me thirsty. Okay. I met the young professor approximately 1 year ago through Mr. Assman's introduction. He provided me with the blueprints, and I constructed the machine to his precise specifications. It was no trick. If the whole show was a fraud, it would have required a body double. tell me, did the victim have a twin? All the spectators saw the birdcage appear above their heads and then crash headfirst into the crystal tower. A terrible accident, I grant you. Perhaps the science on which the machine was built was flawed somehow. A body double? That goes without saying, surely. To give the impression that something has moved when in reality it hadn't. It's a basic conjuring principle. The deception cannot be achieved without substituting the original with a fake at some point in the performance. But would I be right in saying you haven't managed to establish anything along those lines? Yuck. Incidentally, the prosecution has already confirmed that Mr. Assman had no twin siblings. It is my understanding that this witness is well versed in conjuring artfulness. But such talents do not indicate that he was actually able to accomplish what he claims. Namely, the construction of what, by all accounts, must have been an extremely complex scientific machine. Whatever do you mean? Yesterday's proceedings brought the true nature of your past exploits to light, Mr. Drebber. Indeed it did, my lord. As a swindler who preys on innocent scientists to elicit government grant money through conjuring know-how. Yes, it's true that I possess considerable knowledge of stage magic. But crucially, my scientific knowledge more than matches that of any academic in the field. Investigation of the witness's workshop attests to that claim, my lord. As evidence, the police found this Royal Society trophy for young talent in science there. Yes, that's true. We spotted it there ourselves. If a hypothesis is sound, it can always be forged into a physical manifestation, with sufficient skill. Though I may have sold the secrets of some deceptive, whilst sniveling, talentless scientists in the past. Would you therefore assert that the explosion of the machine was an unfortunate accident? Or, of course, a deliberate act of murder carried out by misuse of the science? Bitch. Counsel for the defense, your cross-examination, please. Yes, my lord. Let's fucking go. Let's pin down that. Let's screw this robot, man! Screw him to the floor!
Hold it!
Of course, that's it! Mr. Assman was a twin! We already established it. Renosuke, come now, boy, pay attention. Perhaps my learned friend wasn't listening earlier. Mr. Assman had no twin siblings. No, I heard you before, but the thread of hope hadn't quite left me. The demonstration could have been a trick if there was somebody who looked sufficiently like the victim. But Dr. Scythe absolutely ruled that out as a possibility. It is beyond question that the victim himself, Mr. Assman, did move from the stage to the Crystal Tower. The fingerprints found at the scene attest to that fact. So it can't have been orchestrated using someone who looked identical to Mr. Assman, then. What are you thinking, Mr. Naruhodo? Oh, no, nothing. Just that the idea of someone who looked identical to the victim is playing on my mind.
Hold it!
Has anyone investigated that trapdoor on the stage yet? Yeah, exactly. It crashed head first, you say? According to the many witness reports from those there at the time, yes. Were you not there at the exhibition grounds on the day? Unlikely. I rarely leave my workshop. Yet another of your unique inventions was found at the scene. Well, it was the unveiling of a machine I'd labored over for many months. I saw it clearly with my own eyes, the birdcage plummeting headfirst into the tower. What a surprise. I believe the victim's neck was broken from the headlong fall, wasn't it? How would you have come by that information? Even an infernal recluse like me reads the newspapers, you know. According to the reports, 2 injuries were apparent on the victim's body. Yes, he'd been stabbed in the chest by a screwdriver believed to belong to the defendant. And he had broken vertebrae as a result from a fall from a considerable height, but the bottom of the birdcage was damaged. The bottom was damaged. Wasn't it? Causing damage to its base! Because that was the one that was in the trapdoor! It was the second one! Correct. My learned friend has been doing his research, it seems. Do we know which injury was the fatal one? Sadly not. Forensic science is not yet at a level where such things can be determined. What we do know is that the victim died having sustained both injuries at some point during the experiment. And since he was found at the birdcage with his neck broken, it's obvious that he fell from a considerable height. Huh, I suppose that's hard to deny. Crash head first, you say? Crash head first, you say?
Deduction.
Gotcha, beach. We've examined the birdcage that crashed into the Crystal Tower ourselves. As you can see, the cage, which is a wooden construction, has sustained damage in one particular spot. Following the explosion, it fell some 30 feet into the glass of the Crystal Tower. That level of damage is to be expected shortly. Uh-oh, my phone's low on battery. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, my motion capture device is low on batteries. Oh no. Oh no. 1 second. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Are we good? Yeah. Okay, we good. The damage itself is entirely understandable. Hang on. I gotta recalibrate it. 1 second. 1 second. Gotta recalibrate my camera real quick here. Real quick. There we go. Okay. I agree. The damage itself is entirely understandable. What doesn't make sense is the location of that damage. All the breakages in the wood are at the base of the birdcage, not the top. What are you saying? Star.exe has stopped working. Beep boop. That's the opposite of where they should be. That's right, my lord. The birdcage that was at the scene is damaged at its base. So we have reports of the birdcage falling headlong into the Crystal Tower, yet the damage is at the bottom. The only way to reconcile these two facts is to accept that there were two birdcages in play that day, which were at some point switched. Switched during what wasn't a scientific experiment at all, but an elaborate piece of stage trickery. Gah. Gah. Good gracious, explain yourself, witness. Well, if we examine the facts, there's only one logical conclusion we can draw. The damage on the base of the birdcage clearly indicates that it clashed tail first into the tower. Or feet first. But multiple witness reports claim it fell head first. The birdcage materialized in the sky next to a balloon flying over the stage following a spontaneous explosion, at an altitude of some 60 feet above ground level, which is approximately 18 meters. It then proceeded to fall some 30 feet into the Crystal Tower in the ensuing deflagration. Witnesses report amid such chaos are notoriously unreliable. But the victim's neck was broken.
Objection.
He plummeted 30 feet inside the heavy wooden cage. However he fell, it would be unsurprising to find one or two of his vertebrae crushed. A riveting scientific analysis of events from the prosecution there. Though to be even more rigorous, you would have to say it was only one vertebra, actually. He wasn't quiet for long. And there's that bop again. I find it hard to see what's motivating Lord Van Zeeks. This witness is clearly a swindler and one who deceived a personal friend of his. If you're going to establish this deception, do it right. Sorry? I feel like that's the undertone here. Ah, yes, and there's one more point. The defense appears to have forgotten. It obviously wasn't a trick, as a certain truth very plainly demonstrates. What? It seems to me that the cross-examination had better continue until we resolve this matter. Mr. Drebber, you will amend your testimony with details of this truth. Of course, we must treat the matter scientifically, after all. I nearly had him there. The kinesis clearly took place, because there's nowhere else 30 feet high for the birdcage to have fallen from. Oh, isn't there? Isn't there? I'm gonna save first, though, because I'm less confident about that one.
Objection!
Nope, that's not it. Nope. Nope. Nope.
Hold it!
What do you mean? Well, before the demonstration began, the victim was alive on stage in front of the audience. Yes, there were lots of witnesses who saw Mr. Assman on the experimentation stage, that's true. And the victim's neck broke as a result of an impact following a fall. Logically, therefore, the victim must have fallen from somewhere. The balloon that exploded was at an altitude of 60 feet. The point of impact on the tower was 30 feet up. That difference of 30 feet is therefore the total distance that the birdcage fell. And there's no other location from which the cage could have fallen that distance if it didn't drop out of the sky. Ergo, the victim himself must have been beamed from the stage into the sky above the crystal tower. A trenchant scientific analysis. Dear me, every time I hear it explained, it sounds increasingly plausible. Oh, yes. It's all very well thought out. Certainly all the spectators on that day saw it. The birdcage plummeting 30 feet through the air, I mean. Irritatingly, yes. I mean, if you look at the picture of the stage, there was it was about 30 feet up. Like, it was high off the ground, so it could have, fallen... Do we not have, a good picture of the stage? Oh, let me look at this. 17th of June. Oh, okay. Okay, not that. Oh, yeah! There we go. About 30 feet, you say? Like, about the height of the stage, you mean?
Objection!
There we go, we got him. Got him! Got him! Now, this is a diagram of the experimentation stage and its surroundings. Dot, 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 dot. We know that somehow the birdcage appeared in midair before falling down into the crystal tower. A fall of about 30 feet, or 9 meters. However, if you examine the diagram carefully, you'll see that there is one other possible location from which the birdcage could have fallen. The same distance of 30 feet. No. Well, it appears the defense has a possible explanation to put forward. Go ahead, counsel. Yes, my lord. Of course. You will indicate the place to which you are referring to on this diagram. The alternative location from which the birdcage could possibly have fallen the requisite 30 feet. Into the stage. If it had fallen from here, the birdcage would have plummeted the same... Oh, did I hit the wrong place? Was I supposed to hit, the top of the stage? I did it wrong. I did it wrong. But I should have hit the stage. It's fine. The logic is still sound, I just clicked the wrong place.
Take that!
The place I'm referring to is here. But that's where the birdcage would have been to begin with. Which is exactly the point, my lord. Yes, the birdcage was in the machine on the stage. But what we must also consider is the height of the stage itself. Go on, Counsel. It turns out that the experimentation stage was built a considerable height above ground level. And if you looked at the diagram, in fact, you'll see it's about the same height as above the ground as the balloon was above the crash site. Ugh. When the experiment got underway, the machine and the birdcage were engulfed in steam. At that moment, the floor of the stage gave way, and if we assume there to be a void underneath, this birdcage and the one seen by the audience would have fallen almost exactly the same distance. No reaction from the Birdman. Once again, my lord, this all points to the fact that there was not one birdcage, but two.
Objection!
My learned friend has no evidence that the stage had such a contrivance in its design. Someone is responsible for the criminal destruction of the kinesis machine itself, it's true. However, the stage still stands. And take a moment to look at the photographic print of the scene following yesterday's explosion. Good lord, the metal grill that formed the floor of the machine is undone. Yes, most likely blown open by the force of the explosion that destroyed the rest of the machine. The defense calls for the space below the stage to be investigated immediately. They should fly, just like you. Exactly. Mr. Drebber. Yeah. It was you who built the kinesis machine, which means that it was you who built the two bird cages that were used to carry out this deception. Whether Professor Harebrain's hypothesis is sound or not makes no difference, because it's the construction of this machine that matters. A machine designed to take Mr. Assman's life and lay the blame firmly at the professor's door. Something that could only have been carried out by you, Mr. Enoch Drebber. Grr. Wah.
Objection!
Drebber.exe has stopped working. Beep boop. There it is again. Amazing. If my learned friend has reached the end of this wild assertions, the prosecution would like to crush the defense's argument slowly, but surely. What? Your argument fails to hold water, just like the crushed glass that I just crushed with my fucking hands. On 2 counts. 2? Firstly... Oh, I almost gave him the robot voice! Firstly, before and after the explosion... Before and after the experiment, this witness went nowhere near the kinesis machine. Every relevant member of staff from the exhibition has attested to that. And I believe members of Scotland Yard have also been on watch duty at every public experiment. In other words, Mr. Drebber had no opportunity to switch the alleged pair of bird cages.
Objection!
But I've already explained why we wouldn't have needed to. The nonsense with the crossbow, that doesn't bolster your case at all. The man who disappeared from the stage and the man who crashed into the tower are one and the same. The forensic investigation team's report is unequivocal on that point. Yeah. And the second flaw in your assertion is a distinct lack of motive. Why would this man have wanted to take the victim's life? He had no reason to do so. Yeah, motive? Do I have to think of everything myself? I have here a contract provided by the witness. What contract is this, Lord Van Zeeks? A contract into which Mr. Drebber entered the victim, Mr. Assman. It reads, Mr. Drebber is to receive 30% of all remunerations from government grants or other income. Well, he wanted all of it. Probably. 30%? Certainly very favorable contractual conditions. But there was one very important provision bolted into that clause. What provision? Mr. Drebber may only uphold this right on condition that both contracting parties are alive. Ooh, that's sticky. In other words, if either of us were to die, the contract would become null and void. So you see, I had nothing to gain from Mr. Assman's death. The diametric opposite, in fact. I mean, I've been thinking kind of this whole time that maybe it was an accident. Drebber wasn't supposed to die, or Assman wasn't supposed to die. Because yeah, maybe he didn't have a motive because it was an accident. Ugh. Need I say more? The witness had neither an opportunity nor a reason to commit the alleged crime. In short, the possibility of Mr. Drebber having done as you suggest is nil. Just a big old face plant. What was that wiggle? What was that triumphant wiggle he just did? Holy shit. It seems the defense's assertion was somewhat wide of the mark. Lord Van Zeeks, you will submit the contract as evidence, please. Gimme a contract on paper. I just want to see what the fuck this is about. Hey. It's true. If Drebber had no opportunity to switch the birdcage under the stage with the one in the Crystal Tower, he couldn't have done it. And in any case, I have no idea what his motive might have been. There is one aspect of your argument that still holds true, however. There were 2 bird cages. The prosecution is unable to deny that. Ah. So I'm sure you're on the right lines, Mr. Naruhodo. And I've no doubt there were other aspects of your assertion that are undeniable truths too. Well, it would seem that the defense has no rejoinder to offer. ... Well, I must say I'm a little surprised. I came here to testify about the machine I built, and instead my reputation is defiled. But the prosecution's counter has set the record straight, I think. It's impossible that I'm the culprit.
Deduction.
Get him, my son! At the beginning of this trial, we believed that there was only 1 birdcage. Yet we now know there must have been 2. In other words, there was more to the demonstration than we realized at first. ... I think it's abundantly clear that the same applies to the culprit. Get to the point. The stage demonstration was constructed and set up entirely by you, Mr. Drebber. Therefore, it's inconceivable that you had no hand in the events that transpired. So if circumstances mean it's impossible that you could have carried out the crime yourself, it points to the fact that someone else was involved. Someone else? Counsel, are you suggesting... Yes, my lord. Mr. Drebber had an accomplice.
Objection!
An accomplice now? Well then, I presume you're prepared for what's to come. You gotta say who the accomplice is, now that you're accusing not only this witness, but someone else of the most serious of crimes. If these accusations turn out to be false, then make no mistake. The prosecution will demand an equally serious punishment for your slander. Well, counsel? Do you intend to pursue this course and formally accuse another party of involvement in this matter? What do I do here? At the moment, this is little more than a hunch on my part. But you know what? The Naruhodo Wright family is all about hunches and bluff until we figure shit out. Let's go! I don't know for sure if Drebber had an accomplice or even if he really is the culprit here. One way or another, though, I have to make my position clear, as a lawyer. So what's my stance going to be? Drebber have an accomplice or not? He definitely had an accomplice. The victim was his fucking accomplice. They were working together to get the fucking science money. The defense is ready to name Mr. Drebber's accomplice. Somehow the two bird cages must have been switched. Everything points to that. Yet according to the coroner's report, that's not a possibility. But that inconsistency itself is a clue. Counsel? My lord? You've received a stark warning lately. If you are nevertheless determined, then I must now ask you to identify this alleged accomplice by name. So, your answer, please. Who do you claim to have been Mr. Drebber's accomplice? Look at this guy's fucking face and his little twiddles. I'm just gonna, double check my thinking here. Oh. God, I can't get over his portrait. He's so emo. Look at this fucking guy. I mean, like, I feel like I don't know, I feel like it had... fuck it! Who is this person? Someone intimately related to the crime, my lord. And someone you surely wouldn't say you know. Yes, thank you. I am aware of the person, obviously. But on what basis do you claim... Damn it. You surely wouldn't say you don't know, would you? No, come on! Or wait. Wait. What did she say? What did she say? You slipped and pointed to the wrong person. Yeah, totally. No slip-ups this time, please, counsel. Mr. Drebber's accomplice. It was Sholmes all along! God, look at his fucking face. He's cute. I mean, the only other person involved was Mr. Science Man. But... Gonna just save real quick. Just gonna save real quick, don't mind me. Twas you! No, I mean, I don't want to say it, but like, it could have been Professor Guy, because like, he was up on this, but he didn't know anything. That wouldn't make any sense. Mad if I'm right. Yeah, okay, good, no. I didn't think it was, but like, who the any chance it could be side? I don't think so. I'm like, it's either him or like the fucking balloon. It could be the balloon guy, I guess. Because like, he was the one with... Yeah, no, then who the fuck? Then who the fuck? Could have supplied the fake body. I mean, this is rough. I mean, maybe. I guess it could have, if she was like, your penalties reset after this. I can just reload my save. I guess. I don't know, because like, who the fuck else was there?
Take that!
Seriously? Okay. Oh, that was the wrong button. That was the wrong button. I need to load my save here, because I don't want to go through this whole trial with only one more point under my belt.
Take that!
The name of the person in question is... What's wrong, my Nipponese friend? Star does have Hades. Star hasn't played Hades in a couple weeks, but... Surely fear doesn't bind your tongue now. It's a little late for that. Of course I'm afraid. After all, naming her in this capacity is definitely gonna make waves. A lot of waves. It could very well turn every single person in this courtroom against me.
I'm sure it will be all right, Mr. Naruhodo.
Thank you, Miss Usato.
The enemy always appears larger than life, but you'll appear exactly the same to the enemy.
Alright then, here goes. You've kept us waiting long enough. Your answer, Counsel. Now. The person who colluded with Mr. Drebber in order to carry out this wicked crime is Scotland Yard's coroner, Dr. Courtney Scythe. What the blazes are you talking about, Dr. Scythe? The head of the forensic investigation team and the coroner who conducted the autopsy on the victim? ACAB, apparently. We know there were 2 bird cages, so who could have carried out the switch to complete the illusion? The accident happened in front of a huge crowd of spectators and the area was immediately sealed off. Then everyone, police officers included, were banished to make way for the forensic investigation team. When else could the switch have occurred? It can only have been in that team's presence. It's essential that the court determines exactly what happened following the incident. The defense demands that Dr. Scythe be summoned to the witness stand at once to testify. I mean, like, I guess in hindsight it does make sense, but, like, I wouldn't have considered that, honestly. You've got a nerve, lad. Standing up there, dragging the odd's name through the mud. I didn't mean to. I know the woman very well. There's no better dead room worker out there. How dare you call her a criminal? My learned friend's imagination appears to be wilder than the East End at night. But the recklessness of your accusations aside, there's another grave problem with your argument. One which the prosecution demands you address at once. A grave problem?
Oh my word.
Who do you claim acted as the victim's doppelganger? What? Certainly if the birdcage containing the body of the victim was exchanged for another, that cage must have also contained a body. It was the fucking wax statue! And yet, no missing persons or accidental deaths of anyone even remotely resembling the victim have been reported. Which means there was no one, dead or alive, who could have nullified or fulfilled the role of the body double for Mr. Assman. That's true. My argument is that there were 2 bird cages and there must also have been 1 person inside each. But I don't know if I've got an answer to that yet, do I? What can I do to reveal how this body double dump was achieved? Do we have a waxwork in evidence? I guess technically that. Very well. The defense will address my learned friend's concern by presenting evidence that reveals the true nature of Mr. Assman's body double. Good gracious, evidence. I do hope this isn't filibustering, counsel. The court is expecting a name. If you think you have relevant evidence, present it now. The body double and the bird cage were hiding inside the balloon that was floating above the stage, which means that any witnesses would have only been seen from 60 feet away. So who was it that appeared out of that explosion some 18 meters above the spectators? Aha! The body double inside the second bird cage was... this fucking guy. We know that the victim, Mr. Assman, was in the bird cage that was situated inside the kinesis machine on stage. And therefore, he couldn't have been inside the second bird cage. Instead, that contained something else. What's been described as a body double, which is what fell from the sky and crashed into the Crystal Tower. Yes, counsel, according to your somewhat elaborate version of events. And that body double inside the second bird cage was, in fact...
It's alright, Mr. Naruhodo. You're ready for this.
Just steel yourself and come out with it.
Thank you, Miss Usato. I needed that. She's so good. As I was saying, the body double inside the second birdcage was, as unbelievable as it may seem, that thing there. You brought the whole thing to court with you.
Objection!
Just stuck it in your pocket. Open your eyes and look into mine, my Nipponese friend. Pops that eyes open. Now tell me, what are you playing at? Stand firm now, Ryunosuke. This is the time to show off your Japanese spirit. As the court will observe, this is a waxwork model. A model, in fact, of an infamous London murderer from 10 years ago, the Professor.
Objection!
You started by indicating the leader of the forensic investigation team as an accomplice in this crime. And now you've moved on to indicating waxworks? Yes, that's about the size of it. But why? And why is this waxwork? It looks nothing like the victim. In fact, it could hardly resemble him less. What possible justification can you give? If you want to know why, ask Mr. Drebber. Yeah. What? Just days before Professor Hairbrain performed this public demonstration, Mr. Drebber abducted this model from Madame Tispel's. Did you say abducted? And 2 days after the incident at the Great Exhibition, he returned it to the museum. Then the timing... Is this true, Mr. Drebber? At first I couldn't see why Mr. Drebber would have stolen the waxwork and then given it back again. But now the reason is clear. He took it so he could put it inside the second birdcage as a body double for Mr. Assman. Gah!
Objection!
Are you hearing this, ladies and gentlemen of the jury? Are you hearing the defense's astonishing proposal? That the witness fabricated this vast machine with the intention of deceiving some wretched scientist. That he did so in collusion with the country's finest coroner on the public stage in front of a vast audience. And that to effect the deception, he used a waxwork model that in no way resembles the victim. Are we really to believe this far-fetched tale? What do you decide?
Objection!
Yeah, he's fucking leading the witness, or the jury. Wait! Yes, if you put it like that, of course it sounds implausible. My lord! I need to speak, if you please. Go ahead, Mr. Foreman. Myself and my colleagues have reached an agreement. Yeah, we know. Very good. In that case, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will state your leanings for the court to hear now.
Guilty!
Yep.
Guilty!
Knew it.
Guilty!
Day one went far too smoothly.
Guilty!
With my little corn cob, I pronounce thee guilty. No! No yeeting. So, as indicated by the foreman, the jury has reached a consensus. I knew that was going to happen. We shall get through this, Mr. Naruhodo, as we always do. And uncover some new truths along the way, I'm quite sure. Yes, I agree. I'm gonna have to appeal to the jurors as usual and see if I can persuade them to change their minds. The defense will now embark on a summation examination. You don't even need to ask, we know you're gonna do it. Are you and your fellows ready to proceed, Mr. Foreman? We are, my lord. Very well. In that case, I ask you now to state clearly for all present to hear the grounds on which each of you has decided that the defendant is guilty of the crime of which he is charged. And now, I think that is a good place to stop for the night, because my throat hurts. It's like 8:30, and we shall be resuming this and hopefully finishing this trial tomorrow on my surprise Saturday stream. Ha! Alright, yeah, because, like, for real though, my throat is actually killing me. So yeah, I think we're gonna go ahead and leave it there for the night. I'm gonna go ahead and pop a sweet save. Here, I'll give you guys a Sholm Shitty Viola just for old time's sake. Because that's a button that I now have programmed into my stream deck. Anyway, the end of the stream is here. We're all very sad. And we listen to the melancholy, straining tones. Anyway, in case you guys were unaware, we will be continuing this tomorrow. I usually don't stream on Saturdays, but I really don't bug me. I really want to get through this game. And so we are adding Saturday to our stream lineup, just for this week. Probably not for next week, but it depends. It depends. Probably not, but we'll see. So yeah, come join us again tomorrow, same time, same location, and let's find somebody to raid, shall we? Who's streaming? Oh, Mim's streaming. Excellent. Mim stream raid. Okay, I'm going to start the raid, and I'm going to do my usual shilling, because my buttons should work now. Anyway, thank you guys for enjoying the stream. For watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm attaching links to my Twitter, where you should follow me for more stream updates. And also my Discord, where is mostly about my webcomic, but we do have a channel for stream discussion and stream memes and all that jazz. Also, I have a store where I have some great Ace Attorney merch. I've got some stickers, and I will eventually have some charms up. So yeah, you should go for that. And if you need to catch up, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel, where all of my stream archives go and where they live. Anyway, we're gonna go raid Mim now. Mim has played through the original Ace Attorney games and is now working on Zero Time Dilemma, which is another game that is similar but a lot darker. So go give Mim some love, and I will see you nerds next time. Tomorrow. Fare thee well!